Well, it's been a long time since we talked to you guys. Welcome back. It's draft night in the NFL, and that's our offseason special Q. Joe's on the left side. Cam's over here. Joe's over here. Isaac's got his helmet on, and Scott's here.
I couldn't get over the film effect that Joe's got going with the lens flare coming off of his sunglasses. I mean, it's like
I don't think that was intentional, but
it looks like a J.J. Abrams film.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. So a long night ahead of us and a great show for all of you watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, on Twitch, and on Instagram Live. So thank you all so much for joining us. Welcome in. Grab something to drink, turn ESPN down, turn us up, and let's settle in for a fun night.
Gentlemen.
Where's the real belt, Joe?
This is the real belt, Isaac. I see why you're wearing a helmet.
He wants to think that, but it's about 7 feet from me.
I see why you're wearing a helmet, obviously. This is the real Pick'em champion.
It is proudly sitting in this room, which will be a new room in about a week's time. So looking forward to having a new studio. I'll have it in the background proudly displayed.
Isaac, it informs you that you do in fact smell. Scott's balding. Cam sucks, as does Chris. So it's the only belt I need.
I would take that as an insult, but the fact you said balding and not bald,
well, I
still have hair.
He did give you a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
Granted, the belt
this
says
is
bald.
a haircut, Joe.
Well.
No, I mean, who amongst us needs haircuts anymore? Let it grow out.
I do. God.
I got a half mullet going that you can't see, so.
It's summertime, so I just shaved everything.
Yeah. I shaved my head once. We'll never do it again. My mom knows about this, and she was the one that actually called me out on it.
Mom's always right.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I tell you, it's the most spring I have ever felt was when I had my head shaved. Take that little tractor and just roll it across the top of your head. Got up in the morning, didn't have to worry about bedhead.
Chris, did
It's
you
so
get my
convenient.
message?
Yeah, it is. And if I had a nice head of hair, Isaac, that's probably how I would walk around.
I think that we are not live on Instagram, so I'm going to check that out for just a minute.
Mark
Could you
Walker.
imagine if Goodell fell off this bike or drove it off the stage?
We can all hope.
Why is he riding like Pee Wee Herman? Is my question.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
We need to ask it.
It's football time. Go Birds. We got an Eagles fan in here, I'm assuming.
Mark is from up that way. Mark is from up that way, so he's he's legit.
So he's like the one happy fan right now.
Yeah.
And guys,
That
the
would be-
rich get richer. I mean, the Eagles have 20 picks over the next two drafts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They don't
Oh,
lose.
they're
They didn't
already-
lose much by trading for Saquon, which is even.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the crazy.
New York is still beside itself.
as
About
they
that.
should be.
And Philadelphia rubs it in.
Well,
I mean,
similar
I was just-
similar to the situation with Luka. That's a trade / non-sign that should have had the GM fired. Just like the GM for the Mavericks should be fired because of that one move.
I was in New York City last weekend, and they still have Saquon Barkley on ads for New York stuff.
Because he's.
And that's how much he is loved.
If he was good.
Matt, he needs to go to a team and sit behind and maybe a team that has a good line or
Matt,
any line.
I wouldn't say the Levis era is ending. It's just moving, thankfully.
I can confirm this comment. Yeah, Mark, I did sit and watch the entire Super Bowl with him. He was through the roof, basically. Yeah, it was a
Fire.
good night for him.
A lot of fire on Nico comments after. What's the odds that like the two most hated sports figures right now are both Nico? Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about it is I really don't think it was the kid.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, I don't think it was either. I mean,
I'll say you
adults
guys,
are ruined for it.
don't get me wrong. I do think it was a lot of the parents, but there's an Athletic article that just came out that kind of Big Nick kind of threw his son under the bus big time.
I mean,
Yeah, but did he do so and maybe fib a little bit to get the pressure off him?
there's blame to go all around in this. I mean, it's a bad situation no matter how you slice it. But I mean, at this point, it's what's done is done.
Mm-hmm.
For us Vols fans, it's time to move on.
Thank you, Maurice. We appreciate you too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I still don't think we're live, buddy.
I'm showing we are.
Are you?
On
Yeah.
Instagram?
I'm seeing that you're live on your Instagram.
Let me check that out. Well, maybe I am. Maybe no.
Correct. I'm saying
Are
it
you
too.
sure?
We're live on your Instagram and not.
Okay, let's check that out.
Everyone go to
Sometimes
Chris's
it's just
Instagram.
trial and error. Yeah. Get my followers up. Okay, we're gonna try to
Matt,
take
you poor man. You've been a Mavs fan. I mean, at least you had the Dirk championship run there.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you got a center in that trade that will give you 40 good games a year.
40's a lot.
Evidently, Clay Matthews has got something going on, or he's just really mad.
They're hounding Goodell like always.
Joe, throw me the number it sent you.
Yeah, 314-924.
Now give me your mother's maiden name.
Yes. What street
What's
did you
the
live
middle
on as a
name of your
child?
oldest sibling?
What was your first car? What's your dog's name?
I am the oldest sibling, Cam. So
Yeah, we know.
All right, here we go.
Switch this up.
You know
We
what?
are officially on the clock.
Titans are officially on the clock.
I'm watching a live
I was
draft
hoping
right
we would
now.
have the quickest turn in history for the number one pick.
Gonna piss me
No,
off.
they're going to
It's
take
just-
some calls, I'm sure. Or see if any come up.
They
It's
ain't
only
taking
right.
no calls.
They're going to
They
be
are
told
not
to
taking no
not-
calls right now.
They're being told to not run that card up very quickly because the Lions got in trouble for that one year when they drafted Hutch.
Which
Literally-
first round pick was that?
That was 2022, 23 when they drafted Hutch right behind what's his name from Jacksonville?
Walker, Trayvon
Trayvon
Walker.
Walker. Okay. Yeah. As
These
soon as
guys-
Jacksonville turned their pick in, Detroit ran the card up and they got chewed out for it.
So basically, we all know they're going to take Cam Ward. Cam, you and I differ very much on this pick. I think Scott and I are pretty much in agreement.
Yeah. I think he's the
I have
best
not
of
had
a-
time to put it together.
I think he's the best of an underwhelming crop.
Yeah.
I understand feeling the need. I think that if there had been a decent suitor with that would have met whatever the Titans were asking for, it probably would have been a trade.
Mhm.
But I think at this point, you're where you are. You got to take the top offensive player on the board.
So this
I
is
would like to see Abdul Carter.
this is brand new breaking news that they just put on there. The Giants offered multiple picks, including a 26th first, to the Titans, and was told no. So that's new news.
Yeah.
That is out there. That's a
Rock, Chris.
Yeah.
No,
I think that
After 10 minutes, we're finally live on Instagram, so
I'm
we'll
sure
welcome that
that
audience in
Titans-
shortly.
Hello,
I'm
Instagram.
sure the Titans were
followers.
looking
Yeah.
for a haul more than just one, first round pick.
well.
Mhm.
At some point in this process, as Berganzi calls it, they fell in love with Cam Ward, and they did. I don't think they fell in love with the tape. I think they fell in love with his leadership skills, his ball knowledge. The board work with Coach Callahan, all that stuff is super important in the draft process. And something happened in one of those meetings to where it went from, hey, yeah, we'll listen to calls to we're not listening to calls. And you know, as a fan, I told Joe this morning, you just have to hope that he is, you know, the next Patrick Mahomes. You know, there's similarities in some things, and there's some bad things that he does too that is similar to a guy like Will Levis. So I mean, there's a lot to be hopeful about, and there's some things to be worried about. But undoubtedly, this is one of the biggest picks in the Titans' history, really, in my opinion. I think this could.
Which is sad because it's not a great pick.
Touche, but this is going to traject where the next 5 to 10 years goes as a franchise, and I can't help but to be excited about it.
Out of all the drafts we could have had number 1 in, it's got to be.
Yeah, I think I get it to an extent, but next year's quarterback draft class is so much better. It's not even remotely close.
Yeah.
Right.
So take the best player in the draft in Abdul Carter. Do what you're going to do on offense.
Yep.
You're not going to have a good year. They're going to give that front office some leniency, and then next year, go get the Arch Manning, go get the Garrett Nussmeier. So
you could.
Well, I also want just because they're the lead up here to the number 1 pick. All they're showing is Shadir Sanders. I want to talk a little bit about how disrespected Cam Ward has been through this whole process. Not only as saying, you know, this is a weak quarterback class, but he's been disrespected in them showing Shadir left and right all over the place and downgrading, you know, that Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this class, and it's not really that close.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Cam has never not been the number 1 guy.
Well,
So
he wasn't.
the story takes you where the story is.
He wasn't the number 1 guy going into the year. It was Shadir.
Yeah, but I mean,
Shadir,
since the end of the season.
By the way, I
We
just
know
want to
who's
point
been
out
picking
the
where.
comparison that they're talking about right now. Yeah, I just said that.
I mean, don't act like you're special. Everybody says it about him. It's a bad comparison, in my opinion, but I think it's a bad pick. But it is what it is. You got
Mark some point.
If you don't protect him,
we've made some strides. We'll see where we're at. Would not be surprised if they address that more in this draft.
And they signed Tyler Lockett last night, which is a good pickup offensively for them. Gives them a good weapon. So we'll see.
Never beating the allegations.
Yeah, and just looking ahead, you know, pick 35 would super be hopeful of trading back. But, man, if Luther Burden is there or Luther Burden makes it to the late first round, go get him. Go get a wide receiver to pair with your young quarterback. Have that 5th-year option on the rookie deal. That would be the ideal situation for the Titans here.
No, Matt, there's not. I get Travis Hunter in 2 to 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
They're getting his number retired is pure nepotism.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you Cordell Stewart? He made more
Cordell
than
Stewart.
Nope.
He made
the
more
argument.
Cordell Stewart led them to 2 top 10 seasons back to back, and does not have his jersey retired.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There should only be a select few situations in which your number gets retired immediately, and none of them are good.
Rashawn Salam didn't get his number retired until after he died.
I was about to say,
right. And that, unfortunately, was the point I was trying to make right there without making it. So, yeah, when you retiring a number is a down the line process. To do it after, like, months after they played is just no, not here for it. But while on this point, before we get back to this, let's remember the reason why we're all here tonight. We want to talk some high school football too. So, kind of get you set up for this special guest tonight. We've got Justin Hawkins, who will be on with us in about 10 minutes' time. Springfield head coach Dustin Wilson will join us a little later this hour. And we've got East Nashville's Keith Johnson in the 8 o'clock hour. Also, Paige's Knight Wilson will be on a little later on tonight. And DCA's Carson Sneed will help wrap the night up. The final hour is going to be for you guys. We've asked for kind of an Ask Us Anything for the last hour. We'll answer some of the best questions and go through our usual nonsense. And I know you guys have missed us. So we've got about 4 hours tonight. And we're going to fill it as best we can. So while we wait for the official announcement,
It's official.
Yeah,
There
it's
we
official. Cam Ward is a Tennessee Titan.
all right. All right. All right, blow it up.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Or not.
It could have been
I
bad.
could tell.
enough
I
if
could tell
it-
when Cam was.
Now, I will tell you that the number 2 pick has changed.
Yep,
Jacksonville
Jags.
has moved
Oh,
up.
Jags, yeah.
Wow.
Jacksonville is getting the number 2 overall pick, 104 in the 4th round, and the 200th overall pick in the 6th. Cleveland gets the number 5, 36, 126, and next year's first rounder.
Where are they
Travis
going,
Hunter?
guys?
I mean,
Travis Hunter. I would. Do they need a defensive end?
They need a defensive lineman. They do not need an edge.
Yeah.
They do not need an edge. They do not need an edge. They do not need an edge.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter has got to be the pick here. He can play both ways for them as a position. That's 2 position of needs for them. They need a corner and they need wide receiver help. I think that makes the most sense. And, good for the Jags.
I would say that if the Jags stayed at 5, Matt, they would have gone with Genty, but then moving up.
Yep.
That's good news for the AFC South. Bad news for the NFC North.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe more moves await.
Mind you, this is a big move for the Jacksonville's GM too. Youngest GM in the league. He's only 4 years older than me. Kind of makes me sick.
James Gladstone, 34 years old.
Have to think that with Cleveland going back to 5, there was a lot of indecisiveness with that organization on if they wanted Abdul Carter to pair with Myles Garrett or if they did want to do Travis Hunter. I know they viewed Hunter more as a receiver,
I just
which I personally do not. I think he's got a chance to be a great corner, but a average.
I think he should have
receiver.
been a good receiver and an elite corner.
Exactly where I'm at with it.
Yeah. But like for me, if you're the Browns, why not pair Abdul Carter up with Myles Garrett?
That's an insane pairing, especially in that AFC North. When you think of Lamar Jackson, you think of Joe Burrow.
And whoever the Steelers throw in there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers or Shadur Sanders is probably who they're going to have. But yeah, man. Well, yeah, I think this is just a sign of things to come. I think it's going to be pretty chaotic tonight.
My feeling, like I think there are 5 like elite players in this draft, and then like after that, it like 6 through 50.
Mm-hmm.
Is there really that much difference between those guys? I don't think so.
There's weakness in everybody's game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, there's some weakness in these top 5s too.
If you're
they're just harder to find.
If you're the Bears right now, you got to be ecstatic because Jags moving up, that leaves. I don't know if anybody's going to take Genty until 10 now, and that leaves the Bears. They're not going to have to make a move. They'll take Genty if he's there.
You don't.
Chris,
think
are you
Las Vegas
updating
will
this?
take him?
I'm working on that. We're about to have chaos. Come on.
I can keep that live if you want to. If you want to focus on the show things.
Oh, you don't think Las Vegas would take Genty?
No. I think they're, unlike my pick that I made to Cam, dumb idiot me, I think they go lineman.
Who is that?
Vegas.
I think they take Genty if he's there. I mean, that makes sense too.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Chicago trade up.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Chicago needs to trade up now.
Yeah.
Because I think Genty's going to fall.
The Raiders are the only other team.
Well, they're happy with whoever they got.
No, pick us in.
The pick is in.
Let's be real, guys. Travis Hunter to Jacksonville sounds a lot better than Travis Hunter to Cleveland.
Well, that's just
Well,
because
it
it's
just depends
Cleveland.
on the
Anybody that
receiver.
goes there, it's not going to work out.
Well, yeah. I mean, with Cleveland not knowing what they wanted to do at 2, you have to think if they move back to 5, do they get Ted McMillan? Most people see him as the best receiver in the draft.
Hate that
Do
pick.
they go offensive line help? Do they go, edge? There's some athletic edges there.
Yeah. Jacksonville has taken Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick. And I'm going to segue to a guy who can play pretty well on both sides of the ball as well. And let's welcome in Justin Hopkins
How y'all
to the
doing?
show tonight.
Hey,
How's it going, J Hop?
Y'all can hear me?
We got you in.
That's a
Yeah,
great
thanks for hopping on with
transition,
us.
Chris. That was a great.
that was-
I mean, it just worked out fine, Sometimes it does.
Justin,
Appreciate y'all
how's the spring treating you? How's everything going?
Yeah. I mean, the spring's been phenomenal. Honestly, from a recruiting aspect, it's honestly been a little different being committed and all. But, it's good to see a bunch of schools still coming up and getting interest in the guys. And we're excited. We're going to have a big spring. It's been a big spring for a lot of guys recruiting wise, but I'm kind of excited for spring ball just to see what our team looks like this year. Fill in some pieces from some guys that were big contributors for our team last year, so I'm excited, honestly.
I think you broke Chris and Cam's heart when you chose Minnesota a couple of months ago. I talked to you after your commitment. Just tell us a little bit about why Minnesota and how that's been since you committed.
Yeah. I mean, the why Minnesota was just everything that Coach Fleck and Coach Monroe, the defensive back coach, told me they preached. And it was evident in my last visit up there. They showed me everywhere around Minnesota. And I think more than anything, I kind of am starting to fall in love with the university. And I'm kind of starting to fall in love with the place. Like, I called my brother downstairs the other day playing MLB The Show, and he had a my career with the Twins. So kind of just one of them things. It's like we're really like adapting to the whole vibe of Minnesota, and we love the football program, obviously. And it's just somewhere where I can see myself playing. A guy in the draft right now, Justin Wally, is a guy I really like. Resemble my game after now that I kind of get to like see what he was like as a player. So very blessed to be in this position and have been able to choose a school like Minnesota.
So now that you've picked your school, is there anything specific that you've been working on to try to prepare for the senior season, but also go ahead and try to get a head start on getting up to Minnesota?
Yeah. I mean, I would feel like the one biggest thing is probably like weight. Like you kind of want to be size ready when you go into college. So I've been attacking this offseason as if I was going into my freshman year. And I would say I think that's another thing about Minnesota. The DB room is kind of young right now and not too experienced. The last 2 corners they had this past season are both in the draft. So that starting corner spot is kind of up in the open right now. And it'll kind of be the same next year. So I'll have opportunity to kind of come in as a freshman and probably play earlier minutes at nickel or corner for Minnesota. So I've kind of been attacking the weight room a little bit harder, making sure I'm eating the correct things. And I even had a conversation with their strength coach up there, and he was just like, yeah, just honestly make sure that you're eating so you can be as big and as possible to play Big Ten football. So.
Matt makes a comment here. Minnesota's cold during football season. How are you prepping for that? Because Minnesota cold's different than what we get down here, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. And actually, it's funny. Like, my mom would tell a story about, like, when I was 5 years old, I was playing at the Battle Rocky Top tournament in December. And she was telling me how, like, I was, like, saying I couldn't play because my finger was going to freeze off and all this. But honestly, I don't think I'll feel it while I'm playing. I really don't think so. And they got a heated field.
Yeah.
And they also they do, like, everything's basically indoor. And I think they said in the past 3 seasons, they've had only 1 or 2 snow games. So hopefully I'll luck out and, it'll just be a little windy. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's got to be. It's got to be better in the spring and or maybe in the the first early games going forward. You're not going to be fighting the humidity that you're used to.
That's true too. Less cramps.
Your guy Ethan Utley's was watching Instagram Live, commented with an orange. I'm sure he's still a little upset about that, but that senior class you guys had last year, man, that just loaded. I mean, what did you learn from those guys that you can take now that you're one of the senior leaders?
Yeah. I honestly think over the past years that I've been a part of the high school program, I think last year was the best leadership performance that we've had. And I think that was a big reason into why we were so successful. I feel like we've kind of always had the teams to do it, but I feel like Ethan is a prime example. Brandon Collins, Sam Haley, A lot of those guys really just kind of like stepped up and kind of just like set the tone for what they wanted the season to be like. And honestly, like looking at that now, being in that senior role, it's kind of like, all right, cool. We just have to keep it going and keep it pushing, and make sure that the foundation that they've laid in the football aspect is what we kind of carry on to the next year. So,
Right. What who you got an NFL team? Who are you looking at tonight? Are you a Titans fan?
definitely not a Titans fan.
About to be a Vikings fan.
I should become a Vikings fan. Honestly, I think that might be my new team. But growing up, I used to like the Seahawks.
Okay.
Very disappointed in what they have become because I grew up in the Legion of Boom. So, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our safeties coach at Innsworth, he played there too. Coach Deion Bailey. He played at USC, and he's our safeties coach. So those guys were the guys that I really looked up to. But I don't know what the Seahawks got going on now. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So
you mentioned that coaching staff. New coaching staff comes last year.
mm-hmm.
A lot of success in year one.
Yep.
Maybe what's different, and maybe what are you expecting to see out of this year now that they're established?
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I didn't think of it as a difference. It didn't feel like a coaching staff changed because of the fact that Coach Hasselbeck had previously coached some of us. So it was almost like going back to an old coach for me. And I love all of those guys. And basically our whole staff has either coached at a college level or played at a professional level in some respect. So those guys are really knowledgeable. All coaches, all positions. I feel like we do a really good job of kind of like incorporating positions too. Like it doesn't feel like everybody's kind of like in their own individual thing. I feel like I can go talk to the D-line coach, Coach Harris. I can go talk to the O-line coach, Coach Williams. So like everybody kind of just like has that vibe as if we're like one team and we're connected. So
Chattanooga's kind of had a stranglehold on D2 AAA. I think we're all like waiting for one of you guys to step up and knock them off that pedestal. It seems like you guys are in a really good position to do so. I mean, what's it going to take to, take that top spot in D2 AAA this year?
Yeah. Just being honest, that McCallie game last year hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The way that McCallie game ended last year, it really hurt us.
Just a couple bounces.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, I was there. It was a weird game.
It was a really weird game. And when you go back and look at it and you realize it was 14-7 basically in the middle of the third, and then you look up and it's a 31-7 score, like that's not – the score wasn't a good reflection of the game. And that really hurt. And I know McCallie will have a very good team this year. Same with Baylor. But we're going to come too. And like I said, we got a lot of senior guys who left, but I feel like we got some guys that could fill those roles and fill those gaps and be just as good. And I feel like we got a chance of being contenders with anybody. And we got a schedule on us too. So, I mean, we play NCS. We play y'all might be at like eight or 9 games this year. Like we got us a schedule.
Possible.
I did that.
We play at NCA, at Baylor, at NCS.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for the season, especially as a senior and a guy who's from Nashville, to be able to play all those teams in your senior year. It's like, all right, you're kind of excited about that. So.
You guys are.
You kind of took the point away from me, Justin, because I was going to ask about that schedule. Week 2 you go to Nashville Christian, and then jump into Briarcrest, and you come back home from McCallie, and then at BA. I'm only seeing 8 games. I don't think y'all have dropped the entire schedule yet, but even the 8 games that we're seeing on here is just a loaded schedule.
Yeah, and that NCS game, is that a game that you kind of got circled just because of where Jared Curtis is?
Yeah,
being a top 5 guy in the 26th class.
Yeah. Jared's a great dude, and it's kind of one of the things. It's like I've never had a problem with him because he's never been in my division. But now he's kind of in my territory a little bit. So it's like, I'm excited for that game. We run track against a lot of those guys. They won state. We'll be playing against 3 levels of state champions in NCS, CPA, and McCallie. So I am excited for that game. And like I said, like to go out with a game like NCS in your senior year is kind of just one of them things that's like, you might see somebody in 20 years and you're like, we got y'all in week 2. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a really good feeling. And that's kind of how I wanted to be with Jared. You know what I'm saying? When me and Jared are on draft night together, and it's just like, don't forget about week 2, 2025. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be a good feeling as well.
It didn't even dawn on me that you guys play all 3 Division II winner champions from that's crazy.
Yeah,
CPA moving up. I mean, that game, I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of their guys. They return a lot. How excited are you about that matchup this year? It's not, I mean, they're right down the road.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one, especially because we played against a lot of those guys when we were younger. I know the divisions kind of realigned some stuff, but CPA is kind of like a rival for us in a sense. And getting to play against Owen Cabell, he's a good friend of mine. We played AAU basketball together growing up, and he's a heck of a player. Both the Patterson twins, I've been competing against them since I was 6, 7 years old. So that should be a fun game as well. And to play at the Den, I told Coach we can't wear our white jerseys that game. It's going to be a bloodbath, you know, so we don't want to mess those up that game.
Love covering games at that place, but God, the sidelines are so small.
Oh,
yeah. They're right on top of you. It's definitely. I can't imagine as a player having to deal with that. As like a reporter.
So he mentioned jerseys. I have to ask. I've actually played with Minnesota quite a bit in NCAA 25. What's your favorite combo for Minnesota?
That's a good question.
So I was asked this question last week because they were asking me what combo I was going to do on my official visit. And I've come to two things. I like the maroon on yellow. I think that's a very classic look. White accessories, I'd go white helmet with that too. I think that's a very classic look. And then honestly, I'm gonna have to go with the new all black. Oh, I love the new all black.
You can't go wrong with all black.
Yeah, that's what it'd be.
My favorite one is the white on white with the gold chrome
helmet. I knew you were gonna say that. The gold chrome helmet, it gets me. It gets me for sure. It's nice.
I think everybody just kind of assumes Oregon is the, you know, when you
the
think
uniform.
Minnesota's right there because
very underrated.
Yeah, I played a season with them on College Football 25, and I was like going through the uniforms. I was like, there's ungodly amount of combos.
Yeah.
I'm sure you kind of feel this way going there. I feel like there are certain programs in the country that you feel are maybe sleeping giants they have all the resources there. They just haven't put it together. You know, in this new NIL era, we'll see what happens. Arizona State is one that I think is there. Yeah, Minnesota's there too. Just playing in the Big Ten, you know, Ohio State and Michigan maybe take those roles from them, but things are evening up. Do you kind of see Minnesota as maybe one of those sleeping giants?
Absolutely, and I think something again that kind of drew me towards Minnesota was the fact that they like a lot of their guys homegrown, and they like to develop classes. So I feel like with our 26 class right now, I feel like we're building a case for potentially, you know what I'm saying, maybe future Big Ten champions. And I actually made a comment on that on my Twitter, and some Iowa fans got upset about it. Some Purdue fans got upset about it. But, I mean, I think we're right there. And I even told my coach yesterday, I think they got a shot this year at winning maybe 8, 9, or 10 games. And for them this past season, it really just came down to a few drives. And that happens for a lot of teams where it's just kind of like, you know, those last few minutes, or maybe you could have done this one thing correctly. And I think the Big Ten right now is in a whirlwind outside of Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon. Everybody else kind of gets like that next spot. So,
and I mean, you saw Indiana make a playoff run this year. Anybody can make a run, and I got to ask you. You mentioned those rival schools. You know, we're talking smack to you. Who are you most excited about playing?
Ooh, at Minnesota?
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Iowa fans don't know.
Iowa fans know ball.
I don't know. I mean,
don't know ball.
That's the correct answer.
I'd say Wisconsin, but
it's the Paul Bunyan Trophy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the Paul Bunyan Axe.
That's the one cool thing about the Big Ten. I grew up in Big Ten country, so I know like a lot of the rivalries. Every rivalry, there is a trophy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Ohio State and Illinois have a trophy, the Elia Buck. So
I think we have 5.
Yeah, you have 5. It's crazy. Big Ten, you grew up in SEC country. You've seen all that. Big Ten football, historically maybe not as good as the SEC, but the rivalries up there, it's special up there.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't say. I just want to clarify that it's not that they're not as good. The football is just as good. It's the accolades. They don't have as many championships.
Yes.
That's just the nature, and most people take that as it's lesser football, but it's still really good football.
Yeah.
Good save. Good save.
Sure.
Nice execution. You're doing terrific.
You guys got anything else for J-Hop before we let him bounce and enjoy the rest of the draft?
I know you play a little bit of special teams.
Yeah.
Is that something that Minnesota's talked to you about, potentially returning kicks and helping out in some other places?
They have. There were even talks of me playing a little receiver, especially earlier on. Just looking at the depth chart wise, that's still kind of up in the air. But I'm a defensive back. But my main thing is I want to win games. So whatever I can do to help the team win is what I'm gonna do. So I would I kind of be interested in seeing what punt return and kickoff return are like in the Big Ten. That might be a little different. It's a little different than playing Tennessee Heat, but
Yeah.
Well, man, we saw. I mean, I saw you take one back against Lipscomb Academy, so you can do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I could do it. I don't know. It's just that's a different ball game when you got 6'4", 230 running at you.
Yeah.
And ain't
That's
a one
running
of them
4'6".
slow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
it's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question. Are you going to be in the game next year?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Easy answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that you're going to be in the game? I mean, you played college football 25, obviously, and now you get to be in it.
I mean, that's going to be like one of those things that's kind of like a weird moment, like when I log into the game and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put me in the game. Like that's gonna be weird. Like looking at my icon, my face, it like in the jersey, like that's gonna be a
no more
that being
create
a little disconcerting. Yeah.
No more create my player.
Yeah, I might look a little off, but it'll be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more building my character and trying to do all that. No, they'll do it themselves.
Just real quick update here. Abdul Carter goes to the Giants at 3. Will Campbell from LSU to the Patriots at 4. Cleveland with the pick they traded from Jacksonville now on the clock.
Kind of chalky outside of the trade.
Yeah,
so.
I was about to say, aside from that one
Yeah,
trade,
it's about to get interesting though.
Yes, it is.
Well, J-Hop, we appreciate you, man. I thought it was really cool when you committed to Minnesota. Obviously, I like seeing kids stay in state and go to Vandy, Tennessee, but to see you guys go to different places, it's always a neat experience. And I think you'll fit right in. You'll fit in up there in Big Ten country.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate.
I think it'll be fun to watch. Try to pick up the Minnesota games down here and look for you in look for you in the
potential bowl game,
maroon and gold. Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Potential bowl games, yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, J-Hop, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Enjoy the rest of the draft, and I know we'll see you guys real soon on the field. And good luck to your senior season.
For sure. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, bud.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good timing because our next guest just joined in. We're going to go ahead and put Springfield head coach Justin Wilson in here. Coach, how you doing this evening?
Good. What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
I was just hanging out here watching the draft, getting ready for football. It's not too far around the corner for everybody, including you guys. I know spring practice, I think, is not just a couple weeks away, right?
Yeah, we wait till May 1 to start. We got if we started today, we wouldn't have a quarterback. So you got to let the baseballers and the trackers and the soccer players get going.
Right.
Springfield, we may be in the large classification, but we're still small school field. All the athletes play everything as we promote. So, but yeah, May 1 we'll get going. It may look like a inside run just with a bunch of linemen down there, but we'll get better.
So that small school field, you talk about promoting kids playing multiple sports as a head coach. How beneficial can that be when it comes to a kid getting better with fundamentals, getting better with footwork, and et cetera?
It's beneficial when your school's doing good. So, yeah, as a head coach, sure, it's you love your linemen wrestling. Like Cam, it's incredibly beneficial for them getting out there and learn what leverage is, or basketballers or skill players running and jumping. But I'm a Springfield guy, so I don't care what they're doing. I want Springfield winning, so I just want the kids playing. And I'm sure all the coaches know out there that when their teams are winning and being successful, the school year goes better and all that. But yeah, it's incredibly beneficial when your kids are playing. Just we like to stay in that weight room, so we gotta sometimes you gotta get some other coaches to buy into in-season lifting. But once you see the benefits of that, it doesn't take long for them all to buy into it.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and post this comment because you guys obviously impressed the folks at Beach last year, especially in the playoffs. Matt said, "Man, I'm glad he's not in the region anymore. That was a masterclass he put on against Beach last year." Yeah, that was one of the most impressive results of 2024, what you guys were able to do in the playoffs at Beach. I know it didn't end the way you wanted to, but last season's playoff run, how beneficial was that to these kids that are coming back?
Shoot, it's beneficial to Springfield, Tennessee, Chris. Like just the kids, no matter if they're junior pro or age or whatever, them coming out to a day after Thanksgiving and playing a football game in your backyard, no matter how you got there, is huge. When you host that semifinal game, that game we've hosted now 3 or 4 times at our campus. It's only been there for a few short years. You can't put a number or value on that. The kids that are running around don't have anywhere else to go. Just to the football game in your backyard, it's big time. So yeah, I could talk for days about the run, and everybody remembers Beach, but take it back to week 11, we weren't even going to the playoffs. And in Munford, I don't even know how that happened, to be honest with you. I just got out of the way and let the kids be the kids, and we know we're down 19 with 6 minutes left to go, and man, in about 20 minutes time, real time, we're celebrating in Munford again. Just kids out there being kids and not wanting to quit and wanting another week and just playing ball. So it was fun, and beating Henry County. Like I don't know any of them in front of the other, to be honest with you. But anytime y'all are, and I say y'all media, anytime media is calling an upset, it just feeds us. I'm a chip on the shoulder guy. I love it. So we did it. The kids had fun doing it. They stick their chest out the door for the rest of their life because they got that story that happened in the fall of 2024, and it was special.
Yeah,
It's always nice to see those really good stories come from those games. I mean, obviously the picks are never personal, but the way y'all proved a lot of people wrong was really impressive. So hats off to y'all for that, for sure.
Oh man, y'all keep picking like that. All it does is help. If I could pay y'all for doing that, I'd slip y'all a little money. I don't remember who picked. I ain't gonna hold a grudge if you did pick against us.
I'll send you the address when we get done.
Well, that kind of leading into that, Coach, I don't know if many people are going to be picking against y'all this year. I know maybe you don't want to hear that, but you got really experience coming back, a lot of talent. How do you maybe handle those expectations with a lot of young kids coming into this season?
That's about like those picks, Joe. I'll let y'all talk about all that. I ain't talking about it.
That's a good question. That's a good answer. Yeah.
We don't know how to talk about that, to be honest with you. There's so much stuff that's going on and trying to get squared away. And I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. I know the kids are reading it and seeing it, which, I mean, there's not a problem with that as long as you can handle it. So it's been a while since that has been around our program going back into spring. So it'll probably be refreshing because the monotony of high school football and as a coaching staff, here we go again. It's spring. Here comes summer. Here comes dead period. It'll just be something new for us. And, it's a challenge, to be honest with you. So we'll see how we handle it.
You talked about how the run was last year was special to the kids and how they'll have some takeaway with it. But what does it mean to a community like Springfield? The success that you've had with that program. How have you seen that change in your tenure?
Change. I don't know. Refresh, sure. But guys, Coach Thomas just passed away. And we had a tribute to him Saturday right before Easter Sunday. And I got a lineup of 12 guys that come around and talk about him from the wrestling world and from the football world, all the way from the Doug Newmans and Simpson at Father Ryan, all the way to Porter at White House. And then obviously some of his players too, and us. Our community's pretty strong here. It seems like it goes through a lot. It's always like that, but it's always good to see the ones that ain't been there in a while come back and let them know that we're still here. We're still representing. Like, I don't mean to say that lightly, or it's good to see all the old, and I'm getting in that category. So I guess experience, maybe it's good to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. All us experienced people just to remember about Springfield, just to tell the stories and talk about it. So it's incredibly special for the community. I mean, you don't ask the kids, ask the parents of them people that walked out of that same stadium 4 weeks ago and they won at Beach like that. You ask them how special it was, and I bet some of them got some tears in their eyes because they're so daggone proud of their kids, and their kids are part of Springfield. So, unfortunately, it's over. The memories can't ever be taken from us. It's time to go write some more. But that's a season that won't ever be forgotten. That's for sure.
Yeah, Matt with a really good comment saying Springfield's one of the best places to watch a game. It's top 5 for me easily. I love going out there. I love what you do. It was a senior night where you do the honeycombs in the end zone. Just talk you mentioned the small town feel of Springfield and everything. I'm a big town guy. These guys will tell you I don't like small town football, which is not true. But talk a little bit about that culture that Springfield has with football and the history there.
Man, it's so many of us. Like, it's who we are. Like, if you went to Springfield, you probably played football or around it, or even talking about Coach Thomas there for a 25-year era. Like, everybody either wrestled or played football. I mean, it's just kind of what we did. My dad did it. I did it. My little brother did it that works with us. Like, it's not just a Wilson thing. There's so many families out there that are like that. And it's just special to them. So when something's special to you, you're going to put time into it. And that's how your community continues to feed on it, is because somehow, whether you cheered or played or went to it, or your dad was on the radio, or somebody did the cable for it, or your uncle was the guy at the car dealership that supported them every year. Like, somebody's got ties to it. And that's the small town stuff. You didn't necessarily have to, touch the ball or win a game. You was just rooting for your town to win a game, and you had a tie to it.
Talk about one guy that graduated and was a big part of what you guys did last year, KJ Chapman, coming back from the injury. Obviously last year he has a really big year for you guys. What did he mean to the program in the years he was playing for you?
I think you could see the value of him at that Beach game. He's a football player. Like, there's not a coach that can take credit for that. That kid's tough. He loves him some contact and that physical brand of Springfield. You talking about a last name? Let's pause for a second. You talking about a last name that carries weight in Springfield? You say something about a Chapman, there's a whole lot of first names that you can put in that, and they're going to say the same thing about that kid probably, whatever story it was in the fall of 2024. But there's your small town answer, Joe. Again, just those families that continue to do it. But go back to KJ. It was hard on us. I won't ever forget it. I'm pretty sure it was my birthday, but it was all over July. It was on the right side of our practice field. He caught a swing pass. All the kids having fun. He shook his head a little bit, stuck his knee in the ground, and he hollered and went down. And it's just from that day on, there's a lot of seniors there too. He wasn't a senior, but it was just hard on everybody. And then managing him coming back, like, nobody has that magic recipe for kids coming back and doing that, and him questioning himself some days about how hard it is or how hard he can go. But man, you turn him loose there late in the season in the playoffs, let the film speak, right? You can see how valuable he was to us on both sides of the ball. But more importantly, whatever side of the ball it was his physical nature that helped Springfield make that run for sure.
Right.
Yeah, he was a man possessed. I know we keep going back to that beach game, but I think he had 3 touchdowns, had a forced fumble that was scooped and scored. And as you said, he wasn't running lightly. He was not taking any blows. He was giving them.
Hey, he scored 3 touchdowns there early in the game. They flagged him like twice, one for hurdling. For some reason, that's still a rule in high school football. And then the next one was a holding. And dang, if he didn't score on the next one, he was just that's just kind of how that evening went for Springfield. He was getting in the end zone. He got in 3 plays in a row.
Real quick, a couple updates. Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham to Cleveland at 5, and then Ashton Genty to the Raiders at 6.
And we all applaud because all of our divisions avoided Ashton Genty.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Coach, you got a team you root for NFL wise? Are you a Titans fan or?
Yeah, I'm a Titans fan. It's cool when they're good and you're going over there to the game. Like that was my memories when I was in college. All my buddies at Austin P would go to a Titans game back in the days when we were getting over the Ravens or the Jaguars. But I grew up a Dolphins fan. Dan Marino, John Offerdahl, the Eminem brothers, getting beat by the Buffalo Bills every year in the first or second round.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a Titans fan, but I mean, outside of Springfield, I really don't root for people or watch football. But usually,
I was going to ask you, as a coach, when you turn on the TV on Saturdays,
I don't.
You don't?
I usually take a nap, or my girl's getting to be about 6. She used to be 6 this summer, so try to find some daddy time. But no kidding. I don't watch much football, as crazy as that might sound. But on Saturdays, I come home, I might watch the spotlight game or something. But on Sundays we're in there breaking down film. I don't know who it is now, the fellow's name, but Mike Keith's on in the background. We're keeping up with the Titans, but it's just because it's local. So
Right.
Mhm.
sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your question there, Scott.
No.
I respect that, honestly, because I mean, football. I mean, it's your whole life, but family obviously comes first, especially when you have a little one like that. So I remember being there for the Portland game and seeing her just run up to you, and she was so excited. So that was kind of cool to see. It was just a nice moment. So.
Oh yeah, she's there, and all the kids that are got mom or dad at Springfield High School. Make sure and tell them to get at the helmet at the home games because it's cool. We got the smoke, we got all the big players, but the most important part's what comes after the players. It's all the youngins running out there, and that little blonde-headed girl will be one of them coming to hug me, and Drew's 2 little boys always do it. But that's the cool part. That's the perspective setting part right there. Just to whatever call you make at night, it'll be all right because she's gonna come hug me still.
Well, I know that you sacrifice a lot, for the team, and it went beyond that because you famously were the groundskeeper. Or are you still doing that
For our field?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. As long as I'm here, I'll be the one keeping up with that field.
Yeah.
That's my besides fooling with my family, that's my peace time. That's when I go solve all my problems. So I turn that diesel on and put my headsets on and figure out what we're going to run that week or try to solve some problems. But that's the old farmer in me. I don't mind doing all that stuff, but
Right.
it's also one of those stubborn things where if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So yeah, I'll be doing it.
So
I had
you
a
said
feeling
put
that
you
number
said
two-
put the headsets on. What's on that playlist?
It's usually talk radio. I'll turn on some Pandora on Johnny Cash.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
probably can't tell you like my wife. She can tell you who sings every song or every word to it. But, just as long as it's old and settling to me, something 90s, some Clay Walker, Garth Brooks, something country, or yeah, I'm listening to talk radio about local because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I'll know what's going on locally by turning it on the 104.5.
There you go.
Let's talk about this new region you guys are in this year. You got some traditional rivals with Greenbrier and White House, and then a newer school in Liberty Creek, but you're also adding Pearl Cone to it. Kind of challenge is that going to bring for the kids in this new grouping?
I like how you save the best for last there, and you add Pearl Cone to it. I think it'll be good. I wish it was bigger. I was out there scheduling. I gave a manila folder to our character coach on my phone when I was out there practicing. I think it was the the quarterfinal week when we were preparing for beach, hoping somebody would call me back, trying to find one of those last two games. But that was challenging. But the region, I think it'll be fun. You got some good coaching in it. Alexander at Liberty Creek, Bernetti at Pearl Cone. You got some communities in it too, like Greenbrier, White House, Springfield. I'm very fortunate, very grateful to have White House back on the schedule. It's supposed to be on our schedule. I was graduated in '98. Like Springfield played White House. Like Springfield's supposed to play White House. So I'm glad we can get back together and hook up. So and financially, head coach has got to think about how he's going to find a way to pay the bills. Those White House, Greenbrier, and I'm sure Liberty Creek being Gallatin, that the region fits us well. It's more like us. The rosters will look more like us. They won't be 3 deep like the Hendersonvilles, Henry County's beaches. But yeah, it looks good so far. Built a metro schedule around it, if you will, because until somebody beats Pearl Cone, they're the top. So. We got East Nashville the week right before them. I got McGavick in there. He's an old Metro guy. So if we're going to compete with one of Metro's finest, our kids need to get ready to play Metro kids.
I know that we're very excited about this season, and I think it's probably as good a time as any to announce one of our special projects that we're going to be doing this year, and it's following you guys. We're calling it Into the Hive, a season with the Springfield Yellow Jackets. We certainly appreciate y'all letting us tag along for what should be a very exciting season.
Yeah, come on. I don't know what to expect. So I don't know what we're going to do, but I don't remember which one of you guys asked me first about it. But anytime you guys can talk about Springfield, it's good for us. So if you can put up with somebody as boring as me, y'all bring it on. But it's all about spotlighting the kids. And coming around our facilities a little bit more than just our stadium on a Friday night. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but thank y'all for the coverage. We'll see what we can make of it.
Not like just coming around that stadium is good enough, because I think, like Joe said, it's one of the best.
Yeah,
appreciate you. We're grateful for it. It's the first half of our career, mine and Drew's career, back at Springfield, we got on a bus and went across town. And then when we transitioned to this stadium, we had no idea how good it would be to us. But, man, it's been awful good to us. And I know it's good going out back and painting or not getting on that bus or the tradition that the kids so far have built out here. It's been pretty special.
I remember going to Boy Smith Field to cover a couple of games when y'all played Gallatin over there and stepping onto that field for the first time. And I had to resist the urge to grab my 3-wood and take a couple of swings. I know y'all wouldn't have liked that, but
you better not.
That grass was, I know. I know that grass it was immaculate, and then the work you guys do over at the new field is special too. It's obviously it's a labor of love, really.
Well, if we're going to talk about it, I got one thing for you. I don't know what years it would have been. If it was me, you didn't see this, but if you walked out on the field, man, the people were right on top of you, huh?
Yep. Absolutely were. Yep.
Yeah. Back when I played, it was before it got remodeled and the ADA and all the new, I guess, legislation, you will. But we dressed in the old Highsmith Memorial Gym, and we would park and wait for the band to start playing under the bleachers. And we'd run out under the bleachers, make our big loop, and come back through the band. As elementary as that may sound, the hair on the back of my neck standing up right now, because that was it. Like, it was just old, and it was special, and oh man, it was something to do. I don't know what it looked like watching it. So, man, what a memory.
So you mentioned Highsmith, and obviously that brings up a little bit of a memory for me, because before I started doing any of this, and I had a lot less weight on me, I used to play tennis, and I played over there in the Highsmith tournament every Memorial Day weekend, and several years under Coach Holland. So it was always fun to go over there. Yeah, he still does it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You ask him about me hitting a kick serve to him and just blowing his mind, because I did get an ace on him once not doing that.
Chris, you know how long it's going to take for him to tell that story to me?
He'll never tell it. He'll tell it.
You're talking about Springfield. Coach Holland's a man. You don't go to an event. He's not. I left the baseball game today coming here, and he was at the baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
He's the creator of Springfield High School tennis and still doing it. He's not even teaching anymore.
Yeah, it's been truly something to watch him build that program and everything he's done over the years. It's wonderful to see.
Yes, sir.
How have the kids attacked, workouts and stuff? I know you don't have the whole, all of them, but coming up a little bit short in the semifinals, and then returning so many guys for this year and dropping to 4A. Just calling it what it is. I know you don't want to hear the rat poison, but you guys are going to be a top 10 team in 4A. So how have the guys responded to that? Have they responded good, or are they a little ticked off on how last year ended?
Well, here's what they'll hear about your top 10 remark. They'll hear that's what 2024 team did, and that's what you're living on now. Now, after week 1, it's on your turn to make your mark stay in the polls. But we've got a great strength and conditioning program. We've got a guy that's in his early years of it, but he's dedicated to all our student athletes at Springfield. So regardless if we got beat by Page or we would have got beat by one of those other guys, they don't really have that much time to reflect, because they better get their butt back in that weight room. But I can tell you the gains have been tremendous. If you want to define that drive, Cam, and that little bit of fire that's burning for you guys, it is a good thing y'all talking about. I know I'm kind of busted on you a little bit. That's just the coach in me, but it's to have expectations. Those were earned. They're much, much, much harder to keep. So I think they know it. The experience maybe show, but they've been getting after it in the weight room. The gains have been great. It's kind of a numbers game when you're in that boring old room and you want to put up a number or jump higher or run faster, and we'll give you the feedback in the numbers. But you got to have that vision, and that vision, right now is focused on spring practice and passing out helmets next Monday. Every time I say that, I can tell that burns there. I think more to answer your question about the weight room. They're ready to get back at it. They haven't missed any preparation, but shoot, it's just the droughts on tonight. Football's back.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Well, Coach, I think it's a good stopping point for us. Like I said, appreciate all the help with the project this year. We're excited for that, and certainly want to thank you for spending some time with us this evening, and enjoy the draft and enjoy the downtime, because it's not going to be long before we're back popping pads again.
Yeah. So you guys know the school's address, right, to send the check to for the show and all that? Like, you're good?
Yeah. We got it.
You guys have been good to me ever since Scott, was it you and somebody? We went to Baldwin's.
I was there for that. I was about to mention. I was about to mention Chad Baldwin's.
Yeah, in all seriousness, appreciate y'all covering us. Y'all been good to us, regardless of a pick or whatever you guys got to do. It's what you do. So we look forward to having y'all on campus and look forward to your coverage. And again, if you didn't hear me the first 4 or 5 times I said it, thank y'all for covering us.
Yep, we certainly appreciate it. Like I said, enjoy the rest of the draft, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, a couple more picks have come in. The Jets take Armand Membu from Missouri, and Ted McMillan goes to the Carolina Panthers at 8.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
I'm going to jinx myself. I'm definitely going to miss the next pick, but I'm 8 for 8.
Yep.
I've missed one.
We'll wait for it.
Wait for
New
it.
Orleans is on the New Orleans pick is in. The Bears are now on the clock at number 10.
Isaac, what has been the most surprising pick so far to you?
For me, it's that last one, McMillan. I mean, surprising, that one. I mean, I don't think he was the best receiver that was available right there.
He's widely considered the best receiver in the draft, but I'm with you. I think
Matthew Golden is better.
I think Luther Burden's the best receiver in the draft. I really do.
Yeah.
I think McMillan shows glimpses that are really, really good. A comparison that I really like for him is Drake London. I think that's a very similar skill set, very similar size. I think that's a good comp for him. But I've seen mocks from analysts that had him going as low as in the second round. So, I wouldn't say this is a far-fetched pick. I've seen mocks with the Panthers taking him, and Adam Thielen's getting really old, so it is time to find Bryce Young weapons. So
Adam Thielen's almost old enough to sign a 1-year contract with the Titans.
All right,
you were
give him props for that one. That's pretty good.
Adamant that Genty was not going to Las Vegas. Is that the most surprising pick so far?
No,
not to me. I was just either going to say he was going to go to them or the Broncos.
Joe, you're muted. Joe, you're muted.
Jacksonville trading up for 2 kind of threw everything for a loop. So
yeah, he did.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting pick. This is going to be a swing pick. It's going to send. This is just similar to Jacksonville trading up to 2. This is going to determine how the next run of picks are going to go. Do the Saints take Jackson Dart? Supposedly, Kellen Moore loves him, or do they take a corner? Marshawn Lattimore is no longer on the team, so they definitely could use some corner help.
So while we have a minute, let's just go ahead and re-rack our promo for our series on Springfield Into the Hive. Joe, you're kind of spearheading this in we obviously with the stuff we did with Green Hill last year was a success, and round 2 is looking to be even better.
Yeah, I think it went really well last year with Green Hill. I think we learned a lot. I think we are going to be able to improve and tweak some things. And again, I really want to thank Coach Crouch and the staff there at Green Hill for allowing us to follow them. For me, honestly, doing this project on Springfield kind of came to me when Isaac and I went there for the Portland game. It was just kind of a neat little experience. I admittedly I had not been to Springfield, having lived where I lived, and I went there and I loved it. I mean, I thought the field was cool. I hated that it was a Thursday night game. That was when Hurricane Helene was rolling through and the weather was bad and whatnot.
It did produce some amazing pictures in the rain, though.
Yeah, like this one right here.
Yeah.
I thought Isaac did great. My girlfriend was with us. She loved it too. So to me, it just kind of clicked, and it made sense, that we focused on Green Hill, a new school. A school that was new, and we had a good relationship with the coaching staff. And now to go to Springfield, this old, established, small town, really good football team and a community that loves the football. I think Coach Wilson kind of described everything well when he knows that program. He is that program. When you think of Springfield football, you can't help but think of Coach Wilson. So I'm really excited for it. I've already got how I want the episode structured. I think it's going to be a fun project, and as much rat poison as it is, and he may not want to hear it, I think we're going to cover another really good team this year. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think covering Green Hill for that first season was the perfect option for us. They were just such a great program to cover for a first time for a project like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't throw enough praise to their entire staff, their coach, their AD, all the sound guys, all the radio guys. It's just can't say enough about them.
Yeah, huge shout out to Christian Capozzi. SID there at Green Hill really helped us out there a lot too.
Lauren, you're going to learn a little bit. Just watch your stuff. You'll learn a little bit.
That's a big reason why I wanted to do this on Springfield. I just know that it's a small town. It has so much history.
Yeah.
It's a town that it's football town. Everybody loves this program. So I'm excited to really, get into it. It's one of the 3 small town projects we'll be doing this year. So
Yeah. And more a little bit about that a little later on in the show tonight. Scott, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lauren, one thing. J.I. Baldwin's and get the peach cobbler.
Yep.
Do not leave without trying the peach cobbler.
I'll
It'll
go back.
change your life.
I'll go back to your question that you asked, Isaac, Scott. The most surprising pick to this point just happened.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks went number 9 to the Saints.
Yep.
Offensive tackle.
Yep.
Isaac had him going 11 to the Niners, but the rest of us had him going in the 20s.
So
He is a massive human being, though.
Yeah.
massive human being.
Yeah.
And to kind of
Yeah.
And to kind of put a bow on the Springfield project, I mean, the schedule really sets up well for it with, like Coach Wilson mentioned about the game at East Nashville and Pearl Cone the following week. That actually is the region opener. So, they only have 4 region games this year, which is kind of unfortunate. But the second half of the season, they're at home against Pearl Cone on September 26th. They're at Liberty Creek the following week on October 3rd. They got McGavick at home in a non-region game on the 10th. Then their fall break on the 17th. And they finish up at Greenbrier October 24th. And then they're at home on Thursday night, October 30th with White House in their regular season finale. It's a pretty good way to finish up.
Yeah.
I think that's a really well-balanced schedule, just the way that
It
goes
is.
out.
It is.
And I think it sets up for them to potentially, rest up if need be for the postseason.
And not only that, you look at the first half of the schedule. They're at Rossview to start the year, but they maintain, their long-standing rivalry at Clarksville. They're at home against the Wildcats this year in week 2.
Spoilers may have an episode about that. That may just be an episode. Who knows?
It could be. And they're at Portland the next week, and then Station Camp comes in on September 12th. So they've got some, pretty nearby opponents that will help with that gate, like he was talking about. So, yeah, it's a good schedule, I think.
I'm excited for it. As much as I was excited about that project last year, this one really, really excites me. I think there's a lot of history that we can really get into. So, and you're damn right, you owe us peach cobbler.
Just hang on to it until August.
Well, you're still banned.
Right. I'm not.
I'm not. No, you might.
I never have been. So
Cam, you might be banned.
I'm not.
I only went once and they won.
I did a personal penance where I didn't step on Beach's campus for a year. I think that I have earned.
Not by choice.
To be fair, you did a personal penance by not stepping on 90 other campuses for a year.
Yeah.
That is something we have to come up with a condition as to when Scott's ban is lifted. What does he have to accomplish?
It has to be a sacrifice of some sort,
Homework.
like in Major League when they had the bucket of fried chicken.
God.
Instead of a live one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Well, hold up.
Hey,
Maybe.
Look, parole is here.
Oh,
you've been pardoned.
That's a team.
pardoned for now.
That's a team that's going to be really nasty this year, guys. Beach is.
Yeah.
Beach has all the potential in the world to make a massive run. So
And they're mad.
They're mad.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
They're very mad.
Yeah.
They're very mad.
And in case if you don't know how mad they are, just go to Caden Powell's X feed, and he has 10 bombs this year, and none of them scraped the wall. So
Just go back to our end of season rankings where we had Springfield ranked ahead of them, and they were all mad about it. Sorry, they won.
guys, we are a result-based team.
Well,
We do our rankings.
It's results-based
off of result.
progress.
Well, some other forms do not use total results. They use their opinion.
I don't care what they do. They ain't us.
I think Shelton Swafford might have a Mr. Football type of year. I don't know if he'll win it because the kid at Sevierville's back, or Sevier County, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him definitely being a finalist.
Cooper Newman.
Yeah, Cooper Newman.
Didn't Sevier County return like 22 starters?
Ooh, that's a bad pick by the Bears. Good Lord.
Colston Loveland, tight end.
Over Tyler Warren, really?
A first-round tight end. How's that going to work out for him?
In the wrong one. You could have gotten Tyler Warren.
I would have rather them take that. That just means the Colts are going to wind up with Warren.
They can get coaches all they want to, but the front office is still crap.
I think I picked Loveland to go to the Colts.
I didn't
think
have
I had
that
Loveland.
there.
I thought
I'm here for it. I'm
Me
here
and
for it.
you both had Warren.
We had Warren.
Oh, we both had Warren, yeah.
Me and Joe had Warren. You had a Marion Hampton, Scott.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong, Colston Loveland good, but Tyler Warren's the best tight end in the draft.
Yeah.
I thought they would have gone running back there because they need one.
Stupid. Dumb franchise. Hopefully we don't have any Bears fans in the chat.
That's the Midwest Jets.
Not that they exist, but you said the Midwest Jets. Honestly, it's honestly a really good comparison.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
What time is it?
I got 8:16s. Our next guest should be up here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna message him.
I'm interested to find out. And I know they're second or third day picks, but we all got to keep our eye on Jake Brenningstool and Jordan James.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be really interesting.
I grew up a somewhat Bears fan, Matt, because of my grandma. So I threw this team under the bus years ago, though, when I just couldn't do it. In Indiana, you either grow up a Bears fan or a Colts fan. I chose neither.
You chose to go all the way out to the West Coast.
Yeah, as a Niners fan, who are you wanting here?
To trade it?
We all trade it. The pick is in.
We all wanted Sonny Weaver.
You go corner here?
I'd be tempted to take Tyler Warren if friggin' George Kittle wants out.
That would be ideal right here.
And then
that would make a lot of people happy.
That would make a lot of sense. And then George Kittle get traded to the Titans.
I was thinking about it when we were talking about Minnesota, not just their uniforms. I think Golden Gophers is a top tier mascot.
Oh,
it is.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's definitely top 3.
Yeah. What do you mean it's official? Kittle's a Titan.
If they take Warren here, I think.
If they take Warren, it's definitely. It's not extremely likely, but it's still pretty possible.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what would we give. We'll give you 103.
Give me everything.
It won't take that much. It'll be a late round pick.
Really excited about this spring. I just Chris. Got to give props to Chris. The graphic.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that.
It helps that Isaac took such a good picture too. So.
That starts there.
Any picture in the rain looks good. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
35 for Kittle.
We covered a lot of them last year in the rain.
Yeah, there was enough of that, and there's been enough rain this week to make me not want any more for a while. But
shout out to Hurricane Helene.
I still have a very heartwarming picture of me holding an umbrella for Joe because he didn't have one, and I was his umbrella boy.
What game was that?
That was Green Hill versus Summit. Green Hill versus Summit.
Maybe, yeah, that sounds about right. I think just kind of how we have the episode structure for this project, I think people are really going to be excited about it. Isaac's got a lot of really cool projects we'll announce here later on that he and I are going to be working on quite a bit over the summer. And then the Springfield thing, I'm kind of all in on this one. I think we learned a lot from that Green Hill project. and the Springfield one could be really, really good. I think I kind of want to move around the counties. I think we've kind of talked about this.
Yeah.
Man, bigger trooper than Joe beat. Man, that game, that was rough. Golly. It was a bad game, and it was pouring, and I hated everything. It was a Saturday.
Yeah, that rain stopped me from going up there. I was actually on the way, and then it started pouring. I didn't have everything I needed, so I didn't risk it.
Beach just put them down. So, oh God. Let me. I'll message our next guy that's supposed to come in, and Matt, it was a great game if you were a Beach fan. That it was.
Yeah.
Let's see, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 incorrect picks in a row. I'm doing great.
This is not a very good draft. Like, it's just the talent this year is just not very good. Oh, there he is.
Right on cue. So, welcome in Keith Johnson into the show from East Nashville. KJ, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you, man. Loud and clear.
All right, thank y'all for having me.
Of course,
Sure.
man. You were kind of an easy choice when we were thinking about players that can hop on and join us. I think you're kind of blowing up on the recruiting trail a little bit. It seems like every day I'm seeing you and Kenny picking up new offers. Just what's the last couple months been like for you?
Everything been good, me recovering from my injury, being able to get back with the team, work out with some of my trainers, and then the recruiting, all that stuff over the past months has been really good. Being able to go to camps, go to schools, meet the coaches, showing my face, being able to make communication and all that.
Yeah. You kind of mentioned that injury last year, cut your season much shorter than I think any of us hoped. How's recovery been from that? Are you back full go? I know you got going with basketball season there late, right?
Yes, sir.
So how was recovery from that? And I mean, just are you back to 100% now?
Yes, sir. Recovery went good. Playing basketball helped me a lot, getting my conditioning back to 100%, getting all my movement, all that right. So I'm really ready to go for this season.
It was the Maplewood game, right, where you got hurt?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I think I saw you post something about your ankle around, and I was like, oh, hopefully. And then the next day or two, I was like, oh man, no, that's a bad one. That's not good. So, you guys got a brutal schedule this year. I was looking at it. You guys are not ducking anybody. You're in a new region with East Robertson. I think we're all really excited about that season finale. You got Beach early on. How excited are you about this senior year and what you guys got going?
I'm very excited for the schedule, knowing that it's not going to be easy. We all got to come in as a team, be ready to work. Me knowing I'm a senior and I ain't been able to play last year. I'm ready. I'm super ready for the season to start.
Kenny stepped up last year when you went down. He's had a big year. He had a big year. Dallas comes in at quarterback. Seems like, as good as you guys were last year, everything's leading up to this year, your senior year. As long as you guys take care of business, many people probably think you're the favorites in 2A. How are you guys approaching that expectation going into this season?
Us knowing that we're most likely the favorite in 2A, but we're still knowing that we still got to come in every day, put in the work, knowing that no team is going to take us lightly. We still got a target on our back.
You guys have kind of run away with the region the last couple of years. This year you got a legit team in East Robertson. Season finale, I think we all kind of expect that to be the region championship. How excited are you about that matchup with, Zach Groves and all those guys over there? I mean, it seems like that could be like game of the year potential.
Yes, I'm very excited knowing that we're both good teams. It's going to be a good fight. But I'm pretty sure that we'll pull it out knowing that all the superstars and players that we got on our team on offense and defense as well, we'll be able to handle it and bring out the win for sure.
We're asking everybody, man. The draft's going on tonight. You got a team. Who's your team? Are you excited about the Titans picking Cam Ward? What you got going on?
Nah, I ain't my team 49ers as we just picked.
Okay.
I'm to pick, but I thought we was gonna get Will Johnson, the DB from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all right with Michael Williams though. I'm not upset about that pick at all. How are you a 49ers fan being here in Tennessee? I got to ask that because I'm a 49ers fan, but I got like the Joe Montana, Notre Dame stuff. How are you a 49ers fan?
It's really because Chris McCaffrey. I love Chris McCaffrey, so he was a Panthers. I was a Panthers fan at first, and then once he got traded, I just followed him. But my dad, he's a big Titans fan, and so yeah, I'll root for the Titans sometimes. It makes me happy a little bit, but nah, I'm for the
I respect it.
No, Michael Williams is one of the guys, in my opinion, that has a lot of potential. I think he's one of the guys that was overlooked. I think, really a late bloomer at Georgia. I think he can be a really good player for you guys.
Uh-oh, Matt's calling you out.
Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame. I'm allowed to wear former Notre Dame players, Matt.
And he's also allowed to wear it because it's probably the best NFL jersey.
Yeah.
That's not a throwback.
KJ, obviously last year happens and you have to sit out most of the year with that injury. I mean, what was that like for you? And I mean, what did you learn about your team with you sitting out?
Me knowing that I was a big key part of my team. I just know that I still wanted to be there, help all the young guys that was replacing me, and all the players come in one group, and just know that they can still go and give them confidence to still win and just keep fighting.
You guys had to travel to Westview for that semifinal game, and Graham Simpson kind of does what Graham Simpson does, but I think you guys gave them, outside of Alcoa, obviously, you gave them arguably their toughest game of the year. Do you think maybe that game kind of showcased everybody, just even when you guys are dealing with all the injuries and everything, just kind of showcased how good this East Nashville team is?
Yes, sir, it really did from offense and defense wise. We gave him his first pick of the season by Anthony Morton, my DB. He just committed to Austin P. Congrats on him. So yes, sir.
Tyson Moody's happy about that. He did see he committed there, and he was quite happy. So going into this year, man, I mean, you guys high expectations. How's everything looking in the spring? Have you guys started spring practice yet?
Now we don't start, but we start May 5th, and I think we are looking good with the recruiting and stuff. New players coming in. Getting some, we're gonna look new up front because some of our seniors is gone, but I'm pretty sure Coach Harris and Coach Haystack gonna have all that right by the time the season there. We'll be ready to go for sure.
You guys kind of are one of those programs now where we look at you guys, Procone, the 6A teams, where you don't rebuild, you just reload. To be a major part of that, I mean, what does that mean to you to know that East Nashville's in this spot now where maybe it wasn't at 5-10 years ago?
It means a lot that people see us actually starting to improve and get better and win games as a team, and kids starting to want to come here. But we all got one goal, and that's to win the gold ball, and we will do that this year.
I was going to ask with the success of that your team has had, especially recently, how that's affected the community, how that's affected maybe some of the younger kids that are watching you guys, and how you interact with those.
I interact with them well, knowing that they know who I am, they know who we are. They want to come see us play, see how we do, prepare for games, how we do all that. So all the kids that come out, watch, support us, we appreciate them very much.
What does Coach Harris mean to you guys?
Coach Harris, since he came, man, he's been everything. A coach, he's just been helping everybody out, being there for the kids, doing things for the kids. All the coaches, all of them in one. They all just love the kids, love to be there, want everybody to work, and expect the same out of all of us. Just push everybody every day, make them get better.
Dallas is what, a sophomore right now? He's going in his junior year.
Yes, sir.
Were you maybe not shocked, but like how impressed were you with him to see, him come into the year, just kind of light it up the way he did? And how impressed were you with how he played last season?
I was impressed, but Dallas, we've been growing up since we was little. He was the quarterback. He was my quarterback in middle school, so I knew he'd been to get the job done. So I knew he was going to be able to step up and be the starting quarterback. So I wasn't really impressed because I already knew what he was capable of doing as quarterback.
Gotcha. I saw him come in, and I watched a little bit of his film, and I was like, oh, okay, this kid, he's a little different. So you guys moving down to 2A, I mean, obviously it's kind of different, new region. it's a class down, but it's still high caliber football. What are you maybe expecting out of the 2A side of things this year? And I mean, just overall goals outside of winning a state championship, obviously.
Can you say that one? Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Like moving down to 2A, what are you kind of expecting having to move down a class this year?
What are we expecting?
Yeah, how are you expecting it to be? Are you expecting it to be any different than 3A?
I'm expecting a little bit more. You see, as I schedule a little bit more intense games and harder games to all fight out the games. But we'll be ready for it for sure.
Gotcha. Beach. Matt mentioned that here in our chat. You guys go to Shackle Island September 11th. What are you expecting out of that beach game? I'm not sure. In my time covering you guys, if you guys have gone to a place like Shackle Island, I mean, what are you expecting out of that game?
We know it's going to be a big environment. It's going to be loud, packed out stands for sure. But we know we still got to come in and get the job done. So I'm expecting to be big crowd, big game. Yes, sir. I know me and my guys going to make some big plays for sure.
How does Kenny compliment you? Like, obviously, when we see you get the ball, we know what you're going to do. And then he broke out last year as well. How do you guys compliment each other?
We come to each other on the daily when we in class with each other or when we just hanging out. We just all talk about everything, congratulate each other on everything we do, and we just all want to be big and grow with each other and get better with each other. And Cam too.
Yeah.
So we all just want to and work with each other.
Do you have any visits coming up, or are you just kind of taking the recruiting process as it goes?
I just went, as you see, to Memphis and Miami, Ohio. And then I have no more visits for right now, but I'm still talking to coaches. So,
what are you looking for at the college? Like, what are you looking for the college that eventually that you commit to?
Good facility, good coaching staff, and all the like I said, the facility and the offense. See how they run it. See if it's something I'm used to, something I like, so that I know that I can make plays, come in, make plays, be big for the program as well.
Gotcha. You said Memphis. What was that visit like for you? I know they got some really nice facilities out there. Obviously, nice stadium. And all the uniform combos they have. We talked to J-Hop about Minnesota earlier. Memphis has got a ton too. How was that Memphis visit for you?
I like the Memphis up there. I like the coaches. The facility was nice. They staff was real good. How they approach people, all that stuff. So I really loved it up there. I liked it a lot up there. And me knowing
barbecue.
running back, a lot of running back there. So yeah, I like
barbecue out there. Scott
barbecue's not bad there either. So.
Big city feel. So I mean, you coming from Nashville, if you were to go to Memphis, it's no different essentially. Big city feel. You're already used to that. I got to ask, just because Metro schools, all you guys are getting turf fields now. The last couple of years, you've gotten the luxury of playing on this turf field. How different is it preparing for the season on that compared to maybe where you were your freshman year, sophomore year, where it was at the grass fields and I think the elementary not too far away?
It's real different knowing that we ain't got to worry about no potholes, no nothing. Remember, freshman had big holes in the grass, dirt, everything. But now the field is good. It's nice. We just got to work on, like, when we want to juke move all the planks and stuff we got to do. But, yeah, that's probably, like, the only thing we got to worry about. Really.
And 2 years ago, you guys had to have basically 8 road games before that field was finished and then played the playoffs at home. But then this past year, you had a bunch of home games, and then now it's more of a balanced schedule. So how is that going to be kind of different with a little more balance?
Yeah, it's going to be different. Like you said, we had all away games. Then this year, all home games. Now we just got to be ready and prepare better for home and away, as we got multiple home and away games. But we'll be ready for it for sure.
Any game in particular you're most excited for this year? Obviously, we mentioned the Beach and the East Robertson, but overall, you guys just a loaded schedule. Any game in particular that you have circled?
Yeah, I have. Let's see. I got the week 2 Antioch for sure. That one's gonna be nice.
Ooh.
I got the Beach for sure. Who else? East Robinson, that one for sure.
Yeah.
I'll probably say the first game too, Collierville, going up to Memphis first game.
Yeah, you guys aren't ducking anybody. I mean, that for those first 3 weeks, good Lord, man. I mean, first 4 weeks. I mean,
Five really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Springfield. I mean, you have
Yeah.
Springfield. Springfield's at Springfield, right, Chris?
No, it's at
East Nashville. It's
At
East.
East Nash. Good.
Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, you guys, even if you don't win all those games, by the time you get to the postseason, there may not be a 2A team more battle tested than you guys.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll win those games.
You'll win those. I believe that Antioch game is going to be. That's going to be night. I mean,
That's gonna be fun.
shootout to Andre Adams at Antioch. I mean, battle in Nashville. Really, I mean, obviously we personally would like to see the Pearl Cone rivalry come back, but to get to play Antioch, and I think you guys play Hillsborough too, right?
Yeah, week 3.
Yeah, week 3.
You get to play those metro schools. I mean, what's that mean to you to know that these big time 6A metro schools are coming to you guys and you get to play them? And a lot of people may pick you guys in those games.
Yes, sir. Knowing that the schedules we haven't been able to play in metro schools as people have been wanting to see them, but now that we got the opportunity and the chance to play, people would love to see it and come out and support and hopefully watch a good game.
KJ, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad to see you back healthy. I saw you back on the basketball court, and I was like, I'm just happy because you shared some of the pictures from the injury. I was like, that looks brutal. I mean, it did not look good. So basketball season went well for you guys. I know you came up a little bit short of making it back to state, but I think next year you guys can make another deep run there too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully we will too. Make a good run, but at least try to go to the state, and hopefully if we get there, we can win it. But I'm really worried about football right now. I ain't about basketball.
It admittedly, it didn't feel right to me not to see East Nashville playing in a state championship football game and not see East Nashville in the state tournament for basketball. So I fully believe, I think I got both teams making deep runs this year. So it'll be good to see you in, I almost said Cookeville, guys, Chattanooga.
But definitely.
KJ, man, we appreciate you, and we'll get out. You guys got an interesting spring schedule from what I saw, and I plan on getting out to a couple of the practices. So, nice to see you tear it up this year. I'm glad you're back healthy.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me once again.
Yeah, of course, man. You have a good one.
Thanks,
Thanks,
bud.
KJ.
Thank you, KJ.
All right, so we got a few minutes before our next guest jumps in.
Play catch up on the chaos.
Yeah, Dallas takes guard Tyler Booker from Alabama at 12. Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant to Miami at 13. And just in, Indianapolis takes Penn State tight end Tyler Warren at 14.
Do it. I'm not happy about that one.
Don't want to see him.
My problem,
I don't see it.
the only thing that you shouldn't be too afraid about is who's going to be throwing him the ball.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not worried about the rest of the team. I'm just worried about him.
That was my thing about Travis Hunter. Like, all the mock drafts had him going to Cleveland and playing mostly receiver. Who was going to throw him the ball?
If Travis Hunter went to Cleveland, if he went to Cleveland, he would get run into the ground, especially if he wants to play both ways. Like,
yeah.
I love Tyler Warren, though.
Yeah.
Hated playing him in the playoff, but love him as a player. He's one of my favorite players to watch last year. Just kind of does it all. He's one of those guys that I think in high school he was more of I think he played quarterback. So I hate Penn State though. So
Just watching the highlights of Tyler Warren, one of his comps was Gronk, but I don't see that. I see Dallas Clark.
It makes sense him going to the Colts. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's very similar.
I'm a big Tyler Warren fan. So
yeah, they don't get him down with the first hit. That's for sure.
I'm a big Tyler Warren fan because of what he did against USC.
Well,
Anytime somebody can light up the Trojans like that, I'm not.
That's most teams that they're playing currently.
Good. I hate them.
So.
And
I'll tell you
that
right
was
now,
insane.
it's going to tomorrow at work is going to be ridiculous because 2 Penn Staters so far in the top 20. I'm going to have to hear it from all these Pennsylvania people up here.
It's a shame Drew Aller couldn't complete a simple pass over the middle of the field.
Well, while we got a few minutes before our next guest joins us, Isaac, I know that this series is near and dear to your heart. So let's go ahead and announce one of our love to hate specials that we're going to have. And we'll start with a smaller class of the two with an old school nasty rivalry with Gordonsville and Smith County.
I cannot wait for this one. I already got some of the interviews done. Interviewed Coach Jackson over at Gordonsville. He's just a football guy. I mean, just look at him. He's a football guy. He loves talking football. But yeah, it's small town, my favorite kind of thing. Two schools that I played against in high school. I know a lot about the history between both the teams, the history between these schools. I did a love to hate with Watertown and Gordonsville a while ago, and I interviewed Coach Mark Medley, who's a legend in the Gordonsville community, won a state championship there. And while we're talking about the Watertown-Gordonsville rivalry, he can't help but bring up Smith County. That's just how much they hate each other. It's a region game this year too. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I think it's at Smith County, so it'll be in the hole, which will be perfect. But even if it's not, if it's at Gordonsville, that's a great field too. But yeah, I cannot wait for this. Small town, love to hate. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it is at Gordonsville this year on the night before Halloween in week 11.
Woo! Even better.
Okay. Yeah, keep your head on a swivel. In fact, you might need a spotter.
Yeah.
And just going to say there's a decent chance that this game will be for a home playoff game.
100%.
So, yeah, it's going to be a wild. It's always a wild environment, but it definitely could be.
I mean, could be a region title game.
I would suggest getting to the field 3 hours early.
Yeah, because there's a lot less parking now too. At Gordonsville, they used a bunch of parking and built a new gym, so there's not as much parking as there used to be. So there's going to be lines.
And there wasn't a lot to begin with.
Yeah. So,
in fact, you may just want to call an Uber.
Yeah. If they go out that far, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll drop you off at the highway and you can walk from there.
Right. Yeah. You may have to anyway if you park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Turney Ford Field is one of the more intimate venues to watch a football game. It's a neat venue too, although if you ask Scott, it's going to have some bad memories, and I get that. But it's still, both of those places are wild environments when these two teams play. And documenting that rivalry is going to be fun to see. And I know Isaac's going to kill it and do a great job with it, as he always does. So looking forward to that one. And we've got another one that we're going to announce a little later on tonight. And while we're talking about these small towns, Joe is not a believer in, why don't we go ahead and kind of talk about something else that we're going to do with some of these smaller schools. Joe, I'm going to bring this back and let you spew all your nonsense about small-time football.
Yeah, so Isaac and Cam just try to make me believe that a place called Watertown and Hartsville, Trousdale County exists. And, I'm not from a small town. I mean, Indianapolis is Indianapolis, but my graduating class had, I think, over 1,100 kids in it, something like that. So to get that small town feel outside of the Springfield project, which I'm really excited about, Isaac and Cam are going to introduce me to their imaginary places and try to prove to me that they're real. So this summer, might take a weekend each and spend some time in Watertown and Trousdale County, just to learn about the history of the football in each place. I hear one of them has a richer history than the other, but Cam could just be embellishing and lying. But no, I'm excited for it. I've never been to either. I've driven through or past Watertown. I've actually never touched Trousdale County or Hartsville. Cam is the only thing I know from Trousdale County. Outside of the fact, fun fact, my first year living here, I lived in West Tennessee, and the first team I ever covered winning a state championship was Peabody. And Cam, who did Peabody beat in that state championship?
A handicapped Trousdale County team.
They beat Trousdale County. Cam had never seen Trousdale County lose a state championship, and Peabody. But no, I'm excited. Never covered either of them for a game. The joke is I hate small schools. I do love small schools. I just like giving these guys hell. But really excited to learn about the histories of both programs, learn about these small towns in Tennessee. Small town Tennessee is much different than small town Indiana. So I'm excited to see what it's all about and to hang out with these guys who, even though I give them a lot of shtick, they are my friends. So it'll be cool to see that. And I mean, Chris, maybe you can show me around Lafayette, or Scott.
Yeah, a lap around the strip will be about all you'll want out of that place. I'll go ahead and tell you. Anyway, Matt, I can confirm on this one. Hartsville Taco Company is really good. So
Yeah, we'll hit that up, Matt, and then we'll walk across the Victory Bridge over to the stadium.
Hasn't seen a lot of victories lately, but
It has 9 state championship, well, actually, technically 10 state championship photos as you walk across the bridge.
no, I'm excited for it. I think what I'm most excited for is we got a lot of really cool projects coming out this year from season with the Love to Hates, which I'm really excited about. The large class one we're announcing here in a bit. That just kind of came together last minute, honestly. And then, the small town stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a busy summer.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, we just continue to try new things because at the end of the day, I think all of us have a very similar approach to. We just want to be different. We don't want to provide the same old crap to everybody. We want to put our spin on things and do right by the high school athletes.
Well, if we have anything here, and I know we do, we have storytellers here. Joe's an excellent storyteller. Isaac's an excellent storyteller. Cam tells good story. I lie like crazy.
Cam does tell good stories, but they're all imaginary. Talking about
well, I mean,
you got to have fantasy authors too.
He tells some good tall tales.
A story is a story, whether it's real or fake. I mean, there are fiction sections in the bookstore.
Yeah.
If any of you've ever been to those.
Yeah.
I don't think
Matt, that's a very important point. I'm putting this up here, and we don't do it behind a paywall.
That's true.
We don't.
I'd be lying to you.
You don't want to.
Had other people say, when you go and do it behind the paywall.
We don't want to.
No.
Well,
Good.
Ben's we're talking about this. We do not do it behind a paywall, but the only way we're able to pull this off is if we get sponsors, and we are looking for sponsors
Bingo.
for the upcoming season. All of the money we make on sponsorship gets put right back into these products. It gets us newer cameras, so that way we can bring you better behind the scenes footage for the Springfield project. It gives us our trip to Chattanooga, where we cover all state championship games, unlike some other media, and we're a small knit group of guys. I think we've technically added 2, I think, that are not on tonight. So, but other than that, we're super excited about continuing to grow.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and you're right, Cam. The paywall is a big deal, but we do need sponsors because right now I'm upside down in the new computer. That we had to replace another one with last year. No, it's and don't boo-hoo for us. But suggest to companies people we work with anybody just about. We reserve the right not to work with jerks. That was actually in the bylaws when Chris and I first sat down. Map this out. Rule number somewhere in the top 5 was we're not going to work with jerks.
We make an exception for Joe Spears.
But we needed the jerk, the heel perspective.
Yeah, that's it. Now we got him in the wrestling terminology. We finally got him started talking heels and faces.
Oh, your cardboard belt.
Yeah.
Don't hold that too near to a flame, Joe.
No, really don't.
I just want you to know that this belt is going to evolve throughout the season. You don't even understand.
That belt is going to become.
Did you
He's
gonna
gonna get the bedazzles
or did you have help?
put on it?
Your cat's going to tear that apart.
You joke, but there is a chance that maybe it does get bedazzled. Who knows?
So,
you don't know.
So because you lost the belt, you'll make your own belt.
Scott, I didn't lose the belt. It was unjustifiably taken from me.
He's going to give himself a paper cut in his own belt.
Maybe I already did.
Yeah, don't get an infection, Joe. Joe's not just a jerk. Oh no, Joe's not a jerk. He's a Yankee. I thought he said he's not just a jerk. He's a Yankee.
Trying to get it
Ooh.
the one that Chris has.
Oh, look at Chris.
Let me talk to you. We're
Let me
not.
tell you something.
Yeah, I think this Jalen Walker to the Falcons at 15, I think that's going to start potentially a run on some defensive players here.
Yep.
Very well could. Very well could.
I'm surprised more edge players haven't been.
That's where I think we're going.
Yeah.
There's several pretty good. Me and Joe were talking before we came on, and edge is probably the deepest position of this draft, and it's not really that close.
And
Yeah.
we're talking about sponsors, and you can sponsor this old man moment for just a minute. But let me just come here. The big hats are stupid.
You know what? Let's ask our next guest what he feels about those. Knight Wilson's gonna join us right
You guys
now.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all having me.
So first question for you, Knight: are the big hats stupid? Have you seen the big caps? Are they stupid?
I wouldn't wear one myself, but I mean, I'm not
Okay,
gonna hate
fair
on
enough.
it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's all I needed to hear.
It's a good political
I'm
answer.
sure. Yeah.
Knight, you're kind of the next man up at Page, man. I mean, I just want, first off, before we get into this, your touchdown catch in the state championship game that was unjustifiably called back. The worst call I've ever seen in my life. I've never been angrier. But talk me through that play. I mean, you just high pointed that ball, and I mean, you're featured on ESPN. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, that was kind of a really crazy moment for me. I actually didn't even know it was happening. I kind of got home, woke up the next day, and I had a bunch of texts from my friends, guys sending me videos of it. So it's kind of crazy experiments, to see it on TV. So something you watch every weekend, it's cool to be on it. So that was a fun week for sure.
I'm glad that they mentioned that it was a touchdown. I was like, I don't even care. It came back like on ESPN. Randy Moss is talking about it. It was neat. So it was cool to see that, and I was like, yeah, he deserves it. So, again, you're the next man up. You're in this proud tradition at Page. That's you go to state championships all the time. That group of seniors that you had last year, though, that was special. What did you learn from those guys?
They really kind of laid the foundation for us for really how to lead the guys. So, guys like me and Jake and Sean, guys that have been in the defense for a while, just kind of learning from those guys over these last couple of years. It's really going to help us to kind of shape this offseason going into this next season for us. So,
were you I know we talked to Eric Hazard last year, and after that state championship loss 2 years ago to Knox West, he was like, man, I was back in the gym like the next week. And I know you were one of those guys that works out at Legacy and all that. I mean, how soon were you back in the gym getting ready? Because I remember you after the championship game, it seemed like you were just ready to go play again.
Oh, we were all – as soon as we got back to the hotel, we were already talking about next season, how we can get better, how we can build on what we had from last year. So we were all back in there with Bryce as soon as possible, then started our season list at high school as soon as January got back. So we got back from winter break, but we got at it pretty quick.
Yeah, Bryce does a fantastic job with you guys, just kind of seeing the transformation that a lot of you guys had from when you first started working with him to working where you are now. Just for you, how much growth have you seen out of yourself?
It's been crazy. Been working with Bryce, Radier as well as the guy out at BA, really just buying in with those guys in the off season, and then still obviously getting the lifts in at Page, Those lifts, I mean, they're also important, but you're really also, that's kind of the time you bond with your guys, being out with those guys at 5 a.m, just going at it with a hard lift. I mean, there's nothing better than that. So just been a fun off season for us as a whole. So it's been good.
You kind of blown up on the recruiting trail lately too. I mean, what's this whole off-season recruiting experience been like for you? I know you take a visit today. I mean, how's this all been for you?
Yeah, it's been really crazy. Coming out of my junior year, I just had North Alabama, and then kind of started sending out my tape. Stuff really started to blow up, but it's not just me. Jake, all those guys, Jordan, Sean's gonna be blowing up soon. Like all of us, just really bought into what we had to do this off season, and it's shown up. So it's been a fun process, just seeing all the guys work their way up. So it's been fun for sure.
Knight, you have such a unique situation, with such a big, heavy senior class, with such high expectations that just graduated. Do you feel like there's a little bit of a sense of relief? A little bit of some pressure coming off of you guys now that senior class that had such high expectations has moved on, or is that hopefully the new normal for Paige and having those high expectations?
Yeah, it's definitely a normal for us. The normal is, going 15-0 state championship. That's what we want every year. So kind of living up to those standards they had and really just getting the whole team to buy in, having a full team go at it for a whole off season and really buying in. So we've changed a couple things this off season, workout wise, how we stretch, how we get at stuff. So we're ready to go this year for sure.
You in particular, I think I watched you just stand out last year different ways. I mean, there are some days where you were tearing it up on the offensive side of the ball, but I think you're best at, your safety position. Is that kind of where you're projecting yourself to play at the next level, is on defense?
Yes, sir. I think kind of a boundary safety, maybe into a nickel, kind of whatever I can really fit in the best when I get into college, whatever the defense needs me to play. But I really think a boundary safety or a nickel most likely.
I think last year we kind of expected that defense to be what it was with Eric and Brendan and you and all these guys back. A lot of those guys have graduated, but kind of like you mentioned, people may not realize it. Defensively, you guys bring back a ton. It's just, Brendan and Eric are gone. How's that defense kind of looking right now, and who are some of the other guys that we may not be talking about right now, but by the middle of the season, we'll be like, all right, that's a guy that could be an all-state contender.
Yeah, defense, definitely Sean. Sean's had a great year the last 2 years, led our team in tackles. He kind of falls under the radar when he's around Ains, but, that guy does everything for us. He guards the running back, fills the gap, all that stuff. Colin, he's going to have another big year. We're going to have him step up. He played corner, had a really good game against Springfield, a couple picks. Guys like that, we're going to have Curl and Bone, really step up a little bit on the defensive side. And really just some young guys just really stepping up, following behind the standard we had last year. We expect no change on the defense, which a lot of people don't think that's going to be true. But Coach Temple's a great coach. We work hard every day. So that's what we're going for. No different from last year.
Offensively, I think you guys bring back a ton of weapons too. How are you guys looking on that side of the ball? And kind of the same lines, who are some of the standouts there?
Yeah, we got Caden coming back. He's had a really big year, gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger. So he's going to be our guy at outside for sure. Isaac's put on crazy amount of weight. Him and Colt in the backfield.
Yeah.
Him and Colt are definitely going to be the duo back there. Our O-line, we're going to be huge. You got Curl, you got Bone, you got Ashmore, you got Coffin, you got all these guys. So people shouldn't be sleeping on us, that's for sure. I think we got a tougher schedule this year, which is going to be good for us, and it's going to be fun. So.
That's why I was going to ask you about that schedule. I know you got Brentwood on the schedule now. How excited are you about that matchup? A good old-fashioned Williamson County matchup.
Yeah, first game at home, the home opener, so that should be a fun game for sure. We used to play them all the time in middle school. Haven't ever played them in high school, so just getting back to play those guys again, it's going to be fun. Kind of wish Owen and the Pattersons were still there, but it'll still be a fun game for sure.
Yeah.
A little bit ironic that we've got a Page guy on, because Page fans will remember Walter Nolan from their first championship game. He is now an Arizona Cardinal.
It's a good pick for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I was not overly high on Walter Nolan coming out of high school because I watched him puke 7 times in that state championship game, and I was like, kid's motor's not there. He went to Ole Miss after a couple down years at A&M, and I thought he did really well with Ole Miss. So, Knight, I got to ask you, who's your team? Are you a Titans fan, or are you rooting for somebody else?
I claim to be a Titans fan. I'm not really an NFL guy. I'm a college guy, so I'm a Bama fan. Yeah, that's what I expected, but it's all right.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. If you would have said that 3 years ago, it would have been a totally different reaction. But now that we've won 2 out of 3, it's okay.
There you go.
You're honest about it too. I'm okay with it.
How are you feeling about Alabama this year? I know kind of a local guy, Ty Simpson, seems to be kind of the projected starter at quarterback. I know it's different now that Saban's gone. How are you feeling as a fan watching Alabama going into this year?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine, honestly. We have a good recruiting class coming in. I think Ty Simpson's a good guy. He's grown a lot. When I actually watched him play when he was back in high school, because he played in this area, I think he was a dog. So I think watching under those guys, I think he's going to step up a lot more than people think. And then getting Ryan Williams back, he's one of the most explosive athletes in college football. So you can't go wrong with that.
probably the second best receiver in the country behind Jeremiah Smith. It's like
Yes, sir.
one A and 1B, and then everybody else is just way down the line. So they're better than anybody Tennessee's got right now. So it is what it is.
I'm nodding my head that they're 1A and 1B. So yeah, I would agree that it's better than what Tennessee has.
Have you been to Tuscaloosa for games or?
I haven't been too much. I went for my birthday like a really long time ago when I was young, but and then I went to the UT Bama game a couple years ago. But I hope I get back up there soon.
The 52-49?
No. Well, it was a long time ago, like 2018, I think. It was
I got you.
Yeah.
A game that Bama won, like they used to do a lot.
Back when we won a lot.
Yeah, there you go.
The 52-49 game, like win or lose, that's the best game I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was nuts.
What we kind of talked about those seniors that graduated, and it seemed like you and Eric were really close, and you and Brendan. I mean, what was your relationship like with those guys?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I was obviously close with Brendan and Eric. I played with Eric for 3 years, and then Brendan for 3 as well. But my biggest relationship for sure was William. I mean, when I first started off, he was just playing quarterback. My sophomore year, they moved him back there because that dude could just fly. And we kind of that was when I was still learning everything. So kind of just learning from our safeties coach and just really getting to dive into the game with him. It was definitely a fun 2 years. And that was one of the best experiences I had, was just kind of growing with those guys. And we had such a tight bond.
He had one of for me, Scott was there too, when we covered that Hillsborough game where he just went off. Yeah. I'd never heard of William Weebush before that. I'd heard about Brendan. I'd heard about Eric, but William was he was just a good player that, and then all of a sudden that game happened and he went off and did what he did the last couple of years. Your guys' secondary, I think your guys' secondary last year was very overlooked just because of how dominant the front seven was. Do you maybe think that could be the strength of you guys this year, is that secondary?
Yeah, we have a lot of DBs coming back, a lot of depth. So, and you saw Ryder, he played a little bit, kind of mixed in with Bruce on that weak side with me. And we got Colin coming back. And we got a lot of guys that are going to rotate in the spring ball, just kind of figure out who really wants to take that spot and be that guy. But I really don't think we're going to have a weakness on our defense, if I'm going to be honest. If we kind of just learn and listen from Coach Temple, he was Assistant Coach of the Year for a reason. So kind of just diving in and committing to what he has planned for us, and we're going to be fine.
Obviously, the Sevier County loss stung. I don't think a lot of us expected that. We've talked about that game a lot between our group. I've never seen a game where the ball bounced one team's way more than that one. Just some of the bounces, it was like, come on now. What's the biggest thing you yourself took away from that game that maybe you can use as motivation going into your final season with Paige?
Even the last 2 years, honestly, in the West game too. I mean, we're right there. We make a couple plays, and we're running that game. That touchdown doesn't happen at halftime in both games, and we're right where we want to be. So we really kind of just focusing on the guys that it's not big changes we have to make scheme wise, nothing crazy we have to change as a team. We really just got to focus in on doing the little things and just sticking to what we are, because what we are is how we are at our best. So kind of just getting our guys to dive in, do the little things, and really just buy into this team. And I think we're having a really good year.
Chris, do they play Green Hill? Who else is on your non-region schedule? Do you know, Knight?
Yeah, so we go away at Giles, and then Green Hill, Hendersonville, Brentwood, and Henry County.
Green Hill might have one of the best quarterbacks you guys play all season in Cannon Burrows.
Yes, sir.
I feel like when Paige and Green Hill get together, it's always a good game, just historically, just from the one or two times you guys played. How excited are you about that matchup against Cannon and a really loaded Green Hill team coming back?
Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun game. I played against Aaron back when he was in my freshman year. We played in the first round of the playoffs, so played against Green Hill back then. We had their number then, but I think it's gonna be fun to play there. They got the lights and all that, so it's a cool stadium, cool environment to go play at. So it's definitely gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a good challenge for us that early in the season to go to play that kind of opponent. So it's gonna be good for us for sure.
Hey, I'm a freshman walking in on the Page football team. What do I need to? I mean, what do you guys impart to the new kids coming in that enables you to be successful year after year after year?
Yeah, you really just got to enlist the guys that it's not just given to you. Like going to 4 state championships in a row, that's not just something that happens. It's not just, oh, you just walk in and you do that at the 5A level. You know, you really got to buy in and do what you got to do with the team you have each year. So really just telling those guys that it's not going to be easy. We're not just going to walk into this season and go 15-0 and win a state championship. That's not how it's going to work. You know, you got to work. And once you get to those playoffs, I mean, it's 0-0 every game. You got to win. So really getting the guys to buy in the most, just understanding how hard it is to get there.
I think personally, because I wrote that piece after you guys, that championship game, had a lot of people talking just saying stupid things just because you guys lost that championship game. But it seemed like you guys handled that really well. Do you think that just kind of shows where this program is now, that social media is what it is, but you guys have just come basically not accustomed, but you know what you guys are and how you handle things going forward? Do you think that maybe goes down to what the coaching staff's done since Bone's been there and all the success the last couple of years?
Yeah, we know who we are. We know how we play, and we know how to win games. So really, whatever the media has to say, we don't really care too much. You know, we're just going to dive in what we have, who we got, and we're going to rock, and we're going to go win games. So we don't really want to focus on what everyone else has to say, because those guys evidently can't play on a Friday night. So whoever's with us in that locker room, that's who we got to work with and dive in together.
For me personally, I don't think I'm making any outrageous claims when I say I think Williamson County probably has the best student sections in the entire our coverage area, at least.
Yeah.
For me, coming from a small school, I mean, the crowd gets loud, but you don't really hear them. For you guys, I mean, I've heard some loud student sections at Page. How much does that student section and that crowd help you guys out?
Oh man, it's nuts. If you ever come to a home game, you ever heard of a train horn, you'll see it at Page, man. Everyone in our stands has them. They're blasting them. So the environment's crazy. You know, our parents, they get there early, they tailgate. So it's really a fun environment, just playing in front of everybody you know, in front of your hometown. So, and you can't beat it.
I got to experience Thanksgiving breakfast with you guys last year, and it was a really neat experience. I spent that week with you guys. For you to be able to do that the last 3 years, what's it going to take for you guys to get to be able to experience that again in your final season?
Yeah, like I said, I think this tough schedule we have is really going to be crucial for us. It's going to help us a lot. So just getting these guys to understand what the guys did last year and what little things we need to change, just little things, not nothing scheme-wise, not nothing big changes, but just really getting the guys to hone in and understand that we have the guys to go and make a big run and that we can do it. And we'll end up on Thanksgiving again and hopefully get a state championship.
For me, you are really fun to watch because I think you're a madman. Like, you're a very cool and calm, collected kid here. But when you're on the football field, like a flip just switches. And the Springfield game, it's freezing and you're out there, like your jersey's pulled up and you look like you're not cold at all. For you, have you just kind of always had that mentality of, you know, you can be this nice kid and talk to us here, but as soon as you get on the football field, you're kind of a demon? Is that just kind of been the personality always for you?
Yeah, it's kind of been our role as a defense, honestly. Yeah. If you ever see us with our turnover chain, it's literally it's like a skull mask. So that's kind of our motive as a team. If you ever heard us break it down, we always say take souls. So everyone on the field, you know, we're running after the ball. We got 11 guys going after the football. So that kind of honestly helps me play at a higher level because I know I can go as hard as I can. If I miss that tackle or I mess up, I know I got a guy behind me. So that's why everyone gets to go 110% because, you know, you got your brothers backing you up.
Did not realize you guys said take souls. I was wondering what that was. That makes a lot of sense now.
Mm-hmm.
As a key part of that defense last year, what was that for? What was it, 8-9 games? What was that like, not allowing points? And how, I mean, did that put any pressure on you guys, or did you guys just go play ball?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously fun, you know, something to see, something to go after, something to chase, and we got all those records. But it was really just, you know, us being us. And when that James Lawson touchdown happened, Coach Bone and our DC really talked to us. He was like, "That's football. Like, you got to expect that. That's how the game works." And we didn't change anything. We kept doing what we do, and it worked for us the rest of the season. So we had a good year.
You guys got anything?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a pool amongst us about who was going to be the first one to score a touchdown against Joe, and I don't think anybody picked Lawson in that one.
No,
so,
we didn't. It was fun though. It was a good run, and we hoped it would have gone forever, but you know, it's how football works. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love in the comment section where we've got Lauren and Matt going back at each other on the train horns. It's I don't know whose horn is loudest, guys. Is it
from a
Page's?
non-biased Non-biased, it's it's Beach. Non-biased.
The Beach scoreboard horn is the loudest horn I've ever heard in my life.
Yes, and if you're standing in front of it when it blows, it's bad.
At any level of play.
Now,
It's louder than the Predators' goal horn.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything.
Now, Portland would like a word because they actually have a train running behind their stadium.
Theirs
so-
was stolen.
Tonight, we appreciate you, man. When do you guys start spring practice, or have you already started?
We start May 5th, so
May 5th.
kind of like everyone else, getting those guys out of the spring sports, so we can really get everybody
Yep.
there and really get at it.
I sent out an email to all the coaches asking for like top returning players and just the list that Bone sent me of what you guys got coming back. I was like, anybody that thinks Paige is not like a 5A favorite this year is out of their minds.
Yes, sir.
So it is what it is. I mean, you guys take care of business, you'll be all good. But I agree with Matt. It's will Paige and Beach they wouldn't line up?
I think we would early this year.
It would be in the
earlier.
quarter. It'd be in the
Quarterfinals.
quarter.
Quarter. Yeah, it'd be earlier than last year. Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
And it's definitely a shame.
Knight, we appreciate you, man. It's fun keeping up with you on the recruiting trail for sure. I mean, it's fun seeing all the offers come in for you because it just seems like it's every other day.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Of course,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, Nike.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see.
Catch us up, Chris.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart goes to Cincinnati, the Texas A&M Edge, going to the Bengals there at 17. Gray Zabel, the North Dakota State guard, to Seattle at 18. Tampa Bay's pick is in. We're waiting on that one here just a moment. And then Denver is currently on the clock.
Cam,
Two
how
guards in the first round. Who picks guards in the first round of the draft?
Tennessee Titans, what was it, 2 years ago? A year ago?
Yeah.
With Skronsky.
Yeah.
Cam, how do you
Yeah.
feel with all these edges going, but not James Pierce?
I'm A-okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm A-okay with it because I think that
Ooh. That's a good pick. I like that. And Mika Ibuka going to the Bucks.
Yep.
Chris Godwin can't stay healthy to save his life.
yeah, I'm at 35 for the Titans. I'm really hoping for a certain receiver to make it. If he does, it's great. If he doesn't, James Pierce is a guy that I would definitely be behind taking. I think in that case, you get the best quarterback in this draft and you get the number 2 edge in the draft, in my opinion.
Cam, run down your draft list just for a second.
What do you mean?
Are you still undefeated, or did you?
Oh no. We've got a lot of red going right now.
where did it turn red though? Was it right after you went 8 for 8?
Yeah, I said I'm about to get this one wrong, but I'm 8 for 8 right now.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder if you changed it. Yeah, I guess you did.
Where did I have Pierce going?
You had Pierce going to the Bengals.
I'm honestly shocked Walter Nolan went as early as he did.
I got that one right.
I don't think I got that one right.
The whole motor thing with him was always just no kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Denver definitely goes running back here, right? Amari and Hampton.
Not necessarily. They could potentially go receiver.
Well, while we wait, our next guest is in, so let's go ahead and welcome Carson Snead to the show. DCA standout who's got some big things lined up ahead for him this year. Welcome in.
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all?
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How about y'all?
Good. We're good. It's been a good night so far. How you enjoying your off season?
It's going good. I'm just working out, running a little bit of track right now. Staying tuned up for next year.
I saw you post some video the other day. How fast did you get going the other day? What was your speed?
I'm about up to about 20.8. I'm trying to hit 21.
My knees would explode. I can't even
I didn't even think that fast.
And that's it.
No.
That's it. How big, Carson? How big are you right now?
Last time I weighed in and did a height, I was 6'6", 246.
My God.
Difficult. Got to ask you, man. You're obviously one of the highest touted recruits here in the state of Tennessee for this class. Tennessee commit. Why the Vols when you committed to them? Just how's everything going on that front?
It's going great. I committed pretty early, as everybody knows, but I loved everything about Tennessee. I love the coaching staff. I love the fans. I had a really good connection with the players too. So I think everything about Tennessee was screaming my name at the time, and everything's been good.
You got a pretty elite quarterback coming in this 2026 class as well. I mean, what's your relationship like with him, and how excited are you about him getting to Knoxville?
I'm pretty excited about him. Faison's really good. He can swing the ball. He makes stuff happen. So I've got a lot of confidence in him that he'll be great. I don't have any doubts at all.
So part of the reason that you chose Tennessee, you said, was the players and also, the feel that you got up there. What about the type of offense that Tennessee runs where, you really fit with your length and your size and your ability to reach 21 miles per hour? That kind of flex. It's more of a flex tight end in Tennessee's offense than it is a true blocking tight end. So speak a little bit about the fit going to Tennessee in that offense.
Tennessee, whenever they split the field, they're going to use all 52 yards. I believe I'm a good vertical threat. I can put my foot in the ground and plant. I feel like I can do anything that any receiver can. So I'm very confident in that aspect of the game. But whenever they do ask me to block, I do that too. I feel like blocking is actually one of my strong points that some tight ends don't have.
Yeah,
I really.
What your commitment, like you said, it came so early. I mean, what led you to that decision? Has it made kind of things easier on you? I know you're doing the whole recruiting thing and you're taking your visits and everything, but has it made it easier on you being committed?
Definitely has. I went and played last year stress free, not worrying about anything, and I feel like that really let me take my game to the next level. Really.
I got to ask, just because they're the hot team everybody's talking about. I believe in March you took an official to Colorado. What was that like meeting Coach Prime and just seeing what they're doing in Boulder?
It was unofficial. It was great.
Unofficial, sorry. Yeah.
You're all good. They got a lot of legends in there, NFL legends. They got a lot of ball knowledge, and that's one of the things that really made them contenders was being able to potentially get coached by some NFL legends.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you about the high school side of things. Obviously, last year you guys have a pretty good season. Doesn't end the way you want, but how much growth have you seen out of this program in the last couple of years?
A crazy amount. 21. Whenever my brother, his senior year, whenever they won state, we lost a lot of seniors and we were really young. Had a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing, but I feel like everybody's just matured so much. We took the weight room a lot more serious. Everybody, I can tell, I can see results already in some of the younger guys that we've got right now. Everybody's just taking it a lot more serious, and I love that. And I feel like that's going to help us compete next year.
First year in the new coaching era at DCA last year as well. What was that like for you? And I mean, what were some of the new things you maybe experienced?
Well, he was one of Coach Wade's players back whenever he played, so there wasn't a really big difference. He was confident like Coach Wade was, and he was going to call plays just how Coach Wade did. There wasn't much of a vocabulary change either, so I feel like that made it really easy for the transition. But I really love Coach Pierce. He's a great coach. He wants a player-coach relationship. Like, he wants to be close with us, and he wants us to have fun with it too.
Speak just briefly about what Mitchell Carey did there at quarterback, starting 3 years at DCA, and where you guys go from here in the next man up mentality.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out our quarterback situation. I'm confident whoever it is going to do a great job, but obviously Mitchell's going to be hard to replace. 3,000-yard season, whatever it was, which is crazy. 30 touchdowns. Mitchell can really sling it. He's a great quarterback. Going to be hard to replace, but I'm confident in whoever's next up.
He's definitely one of the most underrated guys around. I mean, you don't see guys pass for 3,000 yards all that often, and I feel like he made it look easy. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys do at quarterback. As for, the rest of the roster, I mean, how's everything looking? I mean, how are you expecting this season maybe to go?
I'm expecting nothing less than gold ball, really. We've got some transfers in. Some kids I know, I've kind of convinced them to come in, and it's looking pretty good. they're a little bit young, but they've also played as freshmen and sophomores, so I'm not worried about them. I know they'll transition just fine.
I always find it interesting for, these highly touted guys, 4 and 5-star guys, and how they traverse the whole recruiting scene. What's that been like for you, and how have you, you seems like such a level-headed kid. How have you been able to manage all that with, schools sending you offers left and right?
I mean, really, I just trust God through the whole process. That's number one for me always. But I talk to my family about it a lot. I talk to my brother. That's my best friend. I'm close with nobody else other than my brother. And he didn't go through this heavy, but he went through a little bit, so he knows how to help me manage the stress. And he's also helped me try and tell people no, because like that's part of growing up. You got to tell people no. So
I feel like that's the hardest part when it comes to the whole recruiting scene is telling coaches no, telling like I'm doing my own thing. I'm going to do this. So I think that's big. That's a big piece of advice, honestly, right there. So that makes sense.
it definitely is, coming from Division I coaches that want you, that anybody that can't play college football, they would take that offer. But you just got to tell them no and do what's best for you. That's definitely the hardest part.
I gotta ask, man. You got 2 Tennessee fans in this chat with Chris and Cam. They're big Tennessee fans. I've been to a couple Tennessee games with both of them. For you, having gone to games at Neyland, I mean, what do you think that? How would you describe that experience and what Neyland brings?
I think that environment is second to none. It doesn't matter if you're playing Kent State or Alabama; they're gonna bring the heat, and it's elite all the time.
It's crowded as hell in those stands, man. Good Lord, they fit everybody in there.
And for the love of God, update those bathrooms.
I guess
Did you grow up a Tennessee fan, or who would you root for growing up?
I grew up a Tennessee fan.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, being from here, I got it. We're asking all the guys that we have on tonight. You Titans fan? I mean, who's your NFL team?
Yeah, I'm a Titans fan.
I love the way he said that. rubbing his eyes as he said it too. I feel you.
Hey, it's okay because our franchise changed tonight. Hey, yep. Cam is going to be the guy.
You either changed really good or really bad. We'll find out in a little bit.
Do you like that Cam Ward pick or?
Oh, I love it. Cam Ward's a dude. I got to meet him when I was down in Miami a couple weeks ago, and he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a guy.
Yeah, it seems like he in the short time he was there, he became like an icon there in Miami. He's so beloved. I know the high school quarterbacks down there love him. He was working out with some of them, so he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. I hope he does well here. For me, I liked Abdul Carter at 1, but what do I know? We might have Shadur Sanders here though,
or Jackson Dart.
I think it's Shadur. I think Pittsburgh was more in on Shadur than Dart.
Mm.
As we get later on in the first round, look for potentially the Browns or the Giants to move back up into the first round for Jackson Dart.
Carson, I got to ask you, what do you think about this in-class 2026 group that the state of Tennessee has? I mean, obviously you're there. We talked to J-Hop earlier, Joel Wyatt at Webb, Nashville Christian. The D2 scene here in Tennessee, it seems really special here, whether it's D2A, AA, AAA. What do you think of the talent that's in this year's class for the state?
I'm not really cocky, but I think this 26 class is the best one that Tennessee's seen in a long time, if you ask me.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I think it's 100% accurate. I mean, and the rankings support it. I mean, it's crazy to think that, really it started with last year's class, but Tennessee is starting to slowly build their way up into having the same amount of talent that some of these other states have.
Yeah, for sure.
You go against Jared Curtis. You go against him every year. What's that like going against him and Nashville Christian? And what's it going to take to knock those guys off the top of the mountain this year?
Well, first off, Jared's a great player. He's a great quarterback, great field general. We were on the wrong side of that stick this year. It was a little rough, but he can play. He's going to be great wherever he goes. I know that. And I think to beat them, it's going to take a really disciplined team that plays really hard, because that's how they play. They play really hard. But I think it can happen for sure.
I'm excited to see where he ends up committing. I think he commits in May down to Oregon and Georgia. So I'm excited about his recruitment and what happens there. Steelers don't take a quarterback at 21.
Yeah.
Nope.
They take Derek Harmon. So what a weird
Defensive
draft.
tackle.
What a weird draft. I mean, it seems like visit season's coming up and everything. You got any trips planned? Are you going back to Knoxville anytime soon? What all you got planned for the spring or the remainder of spring, I guess?
A couple of OVs that are headed to North Carolina are actually from my OV.
Okay.
And then I'm headed down to Miami and we headed over to Tennessee. Those are just some of them.
You said North Carolina?
Yeah.
Sir.
You said North Carolina?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
How excited are you to meet Coach Belichick?
I met him twice now, but you can tell he obviously knows ball, and he wants that program to head up a little bit, and I think he's going to do it for sure.
Yeah, that's the most shocking move to me was him going to North Carolina. But hey, if it works, it works. So
College is the minor leagues. It just made sense.
you said Miami. You've been to Miami before, right? I mean, what was that experience in Coral Gables for you?
It was elite. Coach Cristobal's got a great thing going down there. Coach Woodle, he's their tight end coach. He really likes me. Thinks I'm one of, or if not the top tight end in the country, and his confidence in me that really sparks me for sure. I'm just excited to get back down there. I love it down there.
Just a unique question here for you. I know Dayton just entered the transfer portal. Does it take a little bit of pressure off selecting the school as a freshman, knowing that if things don't go good the first year, that you can move on to another school?
That definitely does. It's kind of like but I don't really plan on transfer. I want to start going stick and be free and done and go to the NFL.
Get that in and get out and go to the NFL. It makes sense. So, are you at the next level? You're projecting to play tight end, I would assume. I don't think we lost.
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
No, we're good.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. I'm projected to play tight end, of course, but there's a couple schools that have actually said I'll work at it. They'll take me on both sides, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
Well,
your work at edge is definitely overlooked with your offensive abilities, but I wouldn't want to block you. That's for sure.
I wouldn't want to be blocked by him.
Well, the fact that you're hitting almost 21 miles per hour is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that size.
Yeah. That's not fair.
Have you always just been the biggest kid on the field? Is it just kind of always been that way, or did you hit a growth spurt recently?
I've been big since I was little. I've always been a really.
Some of us are just blessed, man. Can't imagine.
Definitely a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
Carson, we appreciate you, man. We're excited to see what you do this season. DCA, I think you guys are good every year now. I think Coach Wade got that program in a good spot, and now it's next regime. I think they got you guys in a good spot. I'm excited to see what you guys do this season.
Man, thank y'all.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for joining us.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carson.
Thanks, Carson.
Good luck this year, man.
So y'all have a
We'll
good
see you
night.
out there.
Thanks,
All
too.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's gonna flatten a lot of people on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
he's a freak. Like he 6'6", 246, and almost running 21 miles an hour. And like I said, he can do it on both sides just as good. I really think he could be a D1 defensive end too.
Yeah, that isn't fair. It is unfair athleticism. All right.
Go ahead, Chris.
Quick update here. As we mentioned, Emeka Egbuka goes to Tampa Bay at 19. Texas cornerback Jahdae Barron to Denver at 20. And Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon to Pittsburgh at 21. The LA Chargers are currently on the clock at 22.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
guys.
we transitioned right. I just want to add this real quick. We transitioned
Yeah,
right
go ahead.
into Carson, so I didn't get a chance to add it about Knight. Man, his makeup, like mentally, is he's going to be a football coach. I really think he's going to be a football coach. And he's already got that coach speak about how he's, telling the guys how it's going to be and what needs to be done. And I'm really impressed with his makeup.
I think that's just a page thing. I think that's just the way that coaching staff. You look at like Eric Hazard was the same way. Brendan was. I mean, but I 100%. He's such a nice kid, but man, as soon as he gets on the field, he like that flip switches, and he's the most terrifying person out there. I refuse to accept that his touchdown was not legit in the state. I refuse.
If did Randy Moss say it was a touchdown?
He did.
So then it's a touchdown, I think.
Yeah. Hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, Scott, before we do the next one.
Well, I was going to ask Camp. I had wanted to make a comment about something that Carson Snead said that I think needs to be on the T-shirt because it sounds simple, but it's just so telling. I've been big since I was little.
Yeah.
It sounds simplistic, but you think about that. He has always dominated. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Some people are just
been dominant.
Some people are just built different.
They're just put on this. They're put on earth to play football.
Isaac is the same way. I mean, 6'3" and played safety.
I'm 6'3". I was pushing maybe 190 in high school though. He's 6'6", 200 pounds.
And here as far as the draft goes, have we officially passed the window on quarterbacks without a trade?
Without a trade, I would say
yeah.
I don't think so.
No. The Rams. And it's a reach, but they are definitely I think they're the only team left with a possibility.
They would draft someone just to put behind and sit.
They are also a potential move up spot for the Titans.
The Rams aren't going to draft a quarterback, so they'll just roll with Stafford next year and then get somebody next year like the Titans.
Yeah, if anybody goes back into the back half of the first round, it's the Giants for me.
The Chargers are taking every single second.
But I could absolutely see the Rams taking Shadur Sanders.
I think the Broncos got an awful pick.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
I expecting
them
Burton.
because
the way it's fell, I was expecting them to take Burton.
I think that LA is a perfect spot for a kind of stylish guy in Shadur Sanders, and it gives him a year or two behind the starting quarterback.
Matt, something you just shouldn't admit, man.
Right? Yeah.
You tried out.
He started eating the bacon wrapped honey buns too late.
Yeah. You tried out.
You should have tried out as long snapper.
We are a long snapper podcast.
I think that's what Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still 6'3" and 100 pounds. So.
Right. Yeah.
I was surprised how tall Tyson was. I went to the Vandy Auburn game down in Auburn, and I didn't know he was there, and he just walked up to me, and I saw him. And I was like, "Oh, you're pretty tall."
Yeah, he's a tall kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he needs a sandwich or two.
Yeah.
Or a bacon wrapped honey bun.
Yeah.
Or a bacon wrapped honey bun.
He's up at Austin P. You can go to Gabby's Burgers right across the street.
Okay,
That's
nice.
fair.
That place is
That's
amazing.
fair.
Derek Harmon did
Chris?
have one of the best reactions though after getting drafted because I really don't think he thought he was going to the Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring you. I've had the second best wings ever had after the wings we had at what's the name of it? Murfreesboro. We had them in where we interviewed.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Anyway.
Now I'm blanking at this point. So
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Buffalo Wild
But
Wings.
I've had the second best wings I've ever had.
Toots is good.
Toots is good. I will say.
Curran's Irish Pub
That's
up
sick.
here has Cajun wings that are awesome.
I hate how theatrical this crap is.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
4 hours for 32 picks, and then tomorrow night they'll pick 2 rounds in 4
I
hours.
guess
Amari
that-
and Hampton, there you go.
That's a pick that makes sense for them. I mean, I can't really name who their other running backs are.
Yeah.
They have the dude from the Ravens. They got him from the Ravens. I can't remember.
Justice Hill,
Uh,
or was it?
no, it's the other one.
Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards. Yeah.
I like Amari and Hampton. He was my number 2 running back in the draft.
Yep.
I mean, the gap between him and Genty was very high, but I like him a lot.
So I had him going in the first round.
I think
Actually,
you think Johnson is the next running back, Joe?
Yeah, probably.
Caleb Johnson from Iowa.
Should be.
I like the kid from Tennessee.
I'm interested to see where Scadaboo ends up.
Scott, you have a challenge.
Love that. I love that bowling ball.
Matt, I'm not talking about your excellent wings. Okay, your wings are awesome. I was talking about a place where I would go and buy the wings. A restaurant. Your wings are beyond reproach. They've already been retired. They're number 1.
They're hanging in the banners.
They are. We've retired that jersey.
Probably a good time to talk about our other Love to Hate series that's going to happen this year. And this one more of a bigger school stage. It's going to be Gallatin and Hendersonville in this one. And this is one to look forward to as well. A long time rivalry in Sumner County.
Absolutely. It's just like Smith County and Gordonsville, just bigger. So it's just more to look into. I'm pretty sure it's the oldest rivalry in Sumner County. Battle for Sumner County. These two schools do not like each other. And 2 elite history programs, 2 elite stadiums, 2 elite fan bases. It's going to be great.
And Beach fans can hate watch.
Yeah,
they can.
Yeah, they can.
And for us, a big thing we wanted to do to really help Isaac out is split them up as much as we could. So we mentioned when the Smith County Gordonsville was. It's October 30th. This is week 1.
Yep.
These two get after each other week 1. It's going to be fun. It's going to be – I mean, Isaac, you already know where you are week 1 now. Congrats.
Yeah.
Got it all planned out.
Yeah, they get it right out the gate, August 22nd. Gallatin will host this edition of it. And, pretty good way to kick it off.
And it'll also be my first time at the Wave Yard. Going to be –
And by that time, it will be renovated.
Yeah, going to be a sight to see.
So you'll have more room on the sidelines. They've done a good job with that place, getting it a little bit more up to date. And as far as giving more room on the sidelines, there were some tight sidelines. CPA was probably the tightest. Gallatin wasn't far behind just a few years ago.
So
Did you say CPA is the tightest sideline?
I'd argue with that.
Is it tighter than Westmoreland?
Or
Yes, on the visitor side, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's pretty doggone tight. And the thing is, there's no room in the end zones either.
And because CPA is so
Gordonsville.
good every year, there's always so many people there on the sideline.
Well, Gordonsville, as a media member, Gordonsville is probably the most dangerous because there's a fence right there.
Yeah.
You can't go nowhere. It already took out Scott's wife.
Yeah.
They almost got me last year. I was about this close from getting my ankle spiked.
I've got taken out.
I've had a close call there as well. Yeah, I wouldn't argue that.
Chris,
I've been run over by the same referee twice on the side.
I just realized what you did announcing this when you announced it. I didn't even realize who was on the clock.
Yep.
Sometimes
Because
it just
it's
works
love
out.
to hate for Chris.
Sometimes it just works out.
Freaking
Sometimes it just works out. But in fairness, Gallatin does it better than those imposters in Green Bay.
Gallatin sidelines. That was the time that we really. I just kind of, we all kind of were just very saddened by that one player that got hurt because they had brick freaking walls and a small sideline.
Yeah. They still had the brick walls, but the sideline's not nearly as small anymore.
Yeah, we appreciate Coach Straub and Coach Beasley getting with us to do this. It's going to be fun. I mean, Sumner County, this was one of the ones we had a few rivalries that we were kind of looking at going into the year for large class, and a couple of them just didn't pan out due to scheduling and whatnot. I mean, this works out perfectly for you, Isaac. Week 1 and then week.
Yep.
I got a lot of research and archives to dive into, and a lot of stuff to get ready for week 1. But I can't wait for it.
And a lot of people who will talk about this rivalry too, for sure.
I was about to say, if you guys know anybody who is an expert on this rivalry, definitely.
I know several.
See, Chris, this also makes sense because Chris knows this rivalry from his time as a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
It gets nasty.
I like Matt, just 3 lines of boo.
Yeah, a lot, all sorts of boo. Yeah, like I said, beach fans can hate watch.
Yeah.
Chris, what NFC North team do you hate the most?
Right now, Chicago.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I have more respect for Minnesota and Green Bay than I do Chicago. Chicago fans, to me, are the worst.
Is it because they took Ben Johnson?
No, this is before Ben Johnson. This has been years. I have a special hate for the Bears in my heart. And I shouldn't hate, but I do anyway.
Can I ask?
Do you love to hate them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love to hate them. Well played, Isaac.
Yeah.
Give me a golf clap for that one.
Because Nashville hosted this thing a few years back, right?
2019, yeah.
As a fan, why? Like, why would you go to this? I don't understand.
Well,
like, they just showed that crowd shot.
As someone who went in 2019, it's a good experience just being around fellow football fans. I mean, it's an off-season event. You know, you're not really invested in anything else. It's one night, basically. Go get drunk or whatever, and just, you know, it's a big party.
It's a little different, though. This is looks like it's in the middle of nowhere next to the stadium. They probably have vendors. They probably have vendors, but in Nashville,
it's Green Bay. It's Green Bay, and it's a little different feel because it is a football crazed town with a historic venue like Lambeau Field hosting the event for the first time ever. And I just saw a video earlier on about some of the people in that neighborhood who were hosting parking, and people were paying $80, $100, $120, $160 just to park at a house for this event because they're probably not going to have it there anytime soon after this, even though, I mean, it's probably going to be a success. But it's something to remember.
And there's nothing else to do in Green Bay.
Yeah. No, there's not. So, I mean, the draft's coming back to Nashville at some point.
Yeah, Nashville, it was right there in between, you know, on Broadway. So it's between this venue, that venue. You could bar crawl if you wanted to. You could stay in the crowd or in the rain like Chris did.
That story was a little. What was that?
Do they take Matthew Golden here?
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, I would think they take a wide receiver here.
Just another receiver?
Well, no. Here's the thing: Green Bay never drafts skill position guys. That was
they don't.
Big.
I don't think they've selected a first round receiver since like 03 or 04 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So
Donald Driver.
Driver would have been before 03, 04.
I might just be lacking on ball knowledge, but when was the last time an NFL draft had more running backs taken than quarterbacks?
Probably mid-90s.
In the first round, yeah, probably.
Because so far we got 2 running backs and 1 quarterback taken.
Yep. I also hate the time we live in where do you see that shot like everybody's holding their phone up?
Yeah, and
I'm not
right. It just points out how the Masters is so much better than
a lot of
players. It's like
I'm not a golf fan, but I like the way the Masters does that.
It's hard as hell to get in there, but yeah, I mean it's different when you don't have that crutch in your pocket to look at. You just go take it all in and enjoy something like that. I mean, One of these days. One of these days. Yeah, so Matthew Golden to Green Bay.
Love that pick.
There's your skill
Yeah,
position.
I mean it's good for them. They need it. Yeah, they definitely need it.
I'm not exactly sold on Jordan Love, but I don't mind him.
Yeah.
I'm sold on Jordan Love at Green Bay.
Plus, I hated Aaron Rodgers. So
Adam Schefter just tweeted this out. From the first time since 2002 when they drafted Javon Walker, the Green Bay Packers have used a first-round pick on a wide receiver.
And Ty Smith celebrates.
23 years since they took a first-round wide receiver.
That's probably an all-time reaction for me was Ty Smith when they drafted Jordan Love. That was pretty good.
I know the Arizona kid went first, but Matthew Golden was my wide receiver one. I loved him at Texas. True speed guy. I mean, he made Isaiah Bond look not good, and I liked Isaiah Bond, but good suit too. Nice suit.
So this is a question that was posed on another YouTube channel. Is Matthew Golden better than the two Texas receivers that were taken last year?
Who was
that? Xavier Worthy and A.D. Mitchell.
No,
I don't think he's better than Xavier Worthy.
I like Mitchell, but I don't
know. Mitchell, yes. Worthy, no. I love Xavier Worthy. I hate that he plays for the Chiefs.
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hate the Chiefs.
It's kind of ironic how
everybody hates the Chiefs.
It's kind of ironic when you play for a Super Bowl and you get pick 31 and pick 32. Somehow, like studs just happen to fall to you.
Jess is a Chiefs fan, so
yeah, I was gonna say
crap, but she didn't say anything.
I would say present company excluded, but yeah.
Vikings go defense here, maybe.
That's a team that's about to take a massive step backwards. People don't realize it.
JJ is their quarterback, right?
Yes. Yep.
They think they can't make up their mind, and that should tell you that you have a problem.
I could see Starks going here. Malachi Starks.
I just really hope don't go to Houston.
As much as I don't like Georgia, man, I love all the Georgia players in this draft.
Mm-hmm. Strong group.
That's a great pick for Green Bay. I didn't mention it earlier, but I really like that pick for the Panthers too. Granted, I would have had Golden there, but to get the Arizona kid, that's big for Bryce Young, who I think looked a lot better last year.
The second half of the year, he was definitely improved. I think kind of getting over that just rough start to his career.
They let this man have the mic.
It's in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's in Green Bay. I mean, so the last part of this show, we don't have any more guests coming on tonight. It's really going to be just us hanging out. We'll take questions and ask us anything type stuff. We'll pick out good ones and
high school, college, and NFL,
or
even just whatever.
Arena football.
Talk about
Arena football. The Cats are back.
I do want to say thank you to all the guys that joined.
Yes.
Really appreciate all of them taking some time to join us. Coach Wilson, loved talking with him. It was great. So
and a special thank you to all of you watching tonight. Over 700 live right now with us. And that's a massive number for a show that we've only done for the third year of it. So no, definitely thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We got a little while longer to go.
Going on 3 hours too. That's some commitment.
Yeah. So let's see. Minnesota at 24. Their picks in. Houston on the clock now. We'll finish up with the Rams, Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles, barring any other trades. Which
Matthew Golden started off at Arkansas, or not Arkansas, Oklahoma.
He started off at Houston. That was
Houston.
Houston.
Tough.
I think if Luther Burton goes to Houston, Cam might leave the call.
I do
Here's a
not
good-
need that to happen.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Yeah, here's a good one.
Yeah.
About toughest regions. Well,
I still think that Wilson County 6A region is going to be just as tough as it was last year, as far as how good the teams are compared to each other.
Man, I tell you, the toughest call for me right now, as far as if I had to pick region champions, is going to be whoever wins that East Nashville, East Robertson game. That game is like insane to call right now.
yeah, that game in itself, I think the rest of that region, though, it's not going to really make it the toughest region.
Very
It's
chalky.
top heavy. Because the other teams saying they're East Hickman County, and Houston County.
Giants are back on the clock, boys.
Oh boy.
There's the trade.
Here comes Shadur.
They traded with Houston.
They just traded with the Rams.
So are y'all 2 picks ahead right now?
I'm still watching the Vikings try to.
They did
yeah.
trade.
Mine says the pick is in.
It
Vikings,
does,
yeah.
but I'm not watching. I'm not watching a ticker. I'm watching it on TV. I would say to answer Matt's question, I'm still looking at.
Okay, so this one.
Well, that
The
changed.
Williamson-
What?
Donovan
A lot of
Jackson.
Huh.
stuff.
The
Another
Williamson
guard.
County region's always tough.
Yeah, they changed Region 6 around quite a bit. Added a couple of, like, Coffee County and Shelbyville's tough. That's still kind of a tough region. But
I think adding
is-
Shelbyville makes it tougher because Shelbyville was pretty young last year, and they brought back. They're going to bring back a lot, so I think they'll contend for a playoff spot. Ravenwood probably is the favorite in that region just because of everything they bring back, but Brentwood always just reloads. I'm interested to see how Independence looks now with Scott Blade back in town. Summit, it's hard to figure out Summit, but they got a really good coaching staff there now, so I'm wondering if they'll take that next step.
I think that the Region 4, I think Region 4 in 6A is going to be pretty tough with Cookville, Green Hill, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Gallatin. That's going to be a difficult region.
AAA, D2 AAA East is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. NBA ends with CPA, Baylor, and Macaulay. And then Knox Catholic's not too bad either.
Yeah, that's the hardest region in the state. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Thinking this is going to be Dart here.
I like that Wilson County region. Green Hill's obviously the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Lebanon, I think, is a surprise team. They were pretty young last year.
Yeah.
Why is Jackson Dart in Utah? Is he from Utah?
He seems like he'd be from Utah. He gives Mormon vibes.
Yeah, but then he spent his time in Oxford.
So the Texans are getting 34.99 and a 2026 third rounder for pick 25 that goes to the Giants.
You said 34?
Yeah, 34.99 and a 2026 third.
Morganzi, get on the phone. So that's going to make it worse.
Jackson Dart.
That's going to make it worse if Houston takes Burden at 34 right in front of the Titans.
Are you telling me you want Luther Burden?
Yes, Joe, that's exactly what I'm telling you. That is the best case scenario for the Titans.
I couldn't tell by the way you've mentioned it a million times. What shows are we watching outside of sports? My girlfriend and I just watched the first season of Righteous Gemstones. Love Danny McBride. I've been watching the new season of Daredevil. That's really about it. I'm a giant nerd of some nerdy shows.
I've just finished the Reacher series.
Is that good? I've only seen the first.
I love it.
Yes,
It's a good show.
it's very good.
I hope he's the new Batman. Apparently, that's the rumor is he's going to be the new Batman.
I think he'll play it well. He's got a very stern face the whole way through, no emotion. It's good.
See,
Yeah.
I haven't been watching any TV shows, but I did watch the greatest movie of our generation, the Minecraft movie. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Did you throw your popcorn in the air? And
No, I threw my sour Skittles in the air.
I hate that so much.
No, we pretty much have whatever Michaela wants to watch on the television, and
I've
I'm
heard this
normally
show's great, by the way. American Primeval. I've heard,
especially this time of the year. I'm watching NHL playoffs. I'm watching, I'm really trying to start getting ready for next year. I'm doing a lot of draft work. I dive into this pretty good.
I put a net through enough sports while I'm home that so I'm trying to get as much. I'm actually watching baseball again. I'm actually going to minor league games. There are so many teams around here, as you can tell. Yeah. But I went and saw the Amateur, and that's pretty good.
what's that one?
The Amateur, Rami Malek.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm planning on seeing the Minecraft movie, but I'm just waiting.
The Minecraft movie it's not a good movie.
I hear it's just a giant meme.
It's a giant meme. You have to go with friends, and you all have had to have played Minecraft and understood it. It's not a good movie.
Then I probably won't go see it because I don't really have all my friends are in Tennessee.
Scott, let me just tell you, I don't think it's going to fit your demographic.
I don't think it's.
You obviously have a high opinion of me.
I think we're going to go see The Accountant too, the Ben Affleck movie.
That ought to be.
We rewatched The Accountant yesterday. That was really good.
If you're into anything military or war, I saw the A24 movie Warfare.
I heard that's really good.
Oh, is that good?
That's like you took the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan and just made it the entire movie.
Oh, God.
It was intense. It was great, but it was intense.
I just finished watching Extracted, that reality series on Fox where they take a bunch of people and throw them out in the British Columbia wilderness for however long, and their families have to make decisions that determine whether they stay or have to be extracted from the competition. That's pretty good. Interesting.
I haven't. I mean, outside of what I actually got into, Chris, I told you this. I actually bought an original PlayStation and an original Xbox.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Saw a TikTok about it, and I was like, man, I miss it. And Jess played the Rugrats game on the original PlayStation. She hasn't played it again recently, but she was playing that. And then
get some Halo in. Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, I got Halo. I got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic that I really want to get into. I got the college baseball game. I forgot about that. College baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of the old NCAA games. I think I got 05 and 07. So
yeah.
How excited are we for the College Football 26?
I'm excited, but I'm also at the point where I just wish they didn't release new games and they just updated.
Yeah, to that point where you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a matter of should, it's a matter of want.
Yeah, I mean it's EA being
above all else.
I mean, unless they're adding a whole bunch of new stuff that changes the game, but I don't think that's what they do.
No.
Apparently, they're going to make the Road to Glory open world.
It's not going to be open world. It's going to be like 2K, where there's a hub.
Got another trade, boys. The Falcons have traded with the Rams up to 26.
Okay.
Huh.
Did you see Lane Kiffin's interview about Jackson Dart?
No.
No.
He, I 100% agree with this, Matt. I was actually playing 2K.
Oh yeah.
I played 2K7 the other day, and it actually holds up really well. A little frustrating at times, but it still holds up.
Anyone
No,
get
Lane
Metallica?
Kiffin is doing that media tour or whatever. That's a beautiful ball. And somebody was asking about taking Jackson Dart like in the top 10. Was it Jackson Dart? No, it wasn't Jackson Dart. Who was it? He said something about somebody's like, oh no, it was Carson Beck. He was talking about Miami giving Carson Beck like $4 million. And he's like, did Miami not watch him against us? Because it didn't look like a $4 million quarterback.
Yeah.
I watched the Jackson Dart and the what's the Notre Dame quarterback's name? Will Howard?
Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part is watching Gruden ask them what their snap count was. Yeah.
No. Tell me your actual snap count.
Would you ever do anything else? Would you like going to? Yeah.
Did you see
Go refresh your water.
Do you see Andrew Luck was out there working out with Stanford the other day?
Yep.
I hate the Colts, but I love Andrew Luck.
I nearly became a Colts fan because of him.
No.
I really liked Andrew Luck.
I think the more important thing that came from that was the Captain Andrew Luck Twitter account coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What Ryan Gregson did to Andrew Luck during his time as Colts GM, he should be in prison for, because not building a line around that man and letting him get like destroyed every week.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, if he's going, the guy who ran the Cleveland Browns when Couch was there ought to be right next to him. Right, Matt?
Lord, Daniel Jones has a neck.
So the trade between the Rams and the Falcons. The Falcons are getting the Rams picks at 26 and 101. Atlanta is trading 46, 242, and a first rounder next year.
First rounder next year?
Who are they trading for a first rounder?
Good Lord.
They took their edge at 15 with Jalen Walker. So I would doubt they double up edge. If they do, that's going to be nasty.
Sacrificed. So was David Carr when he went to the Texans. Isaac's too young.
Come on, Alex. Come on, Atlanta.
You're too old to know about the Minecraft movie.
James Pierce.
They doubled up on the edge. That is nasty.
An air and a spare.
If you are a Atlanta Falcon fan
right now,
they're doing what the Eagles did with the Georgia line.
I mean, you see where that got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Pierce going to the very next pick to the Ravens. So
character issue, James Pierce.
carry a second best edge in the draft, James Pierce. Yeah.
Yeah, 26 overall pick, third round pick.
Giving up a first. I mean,
gave up a second.
Warren, you're not biased.
No, you're not. No, Lauren's not biased. No.
Well, that's a little bit rich for that pick.
I think Atlanta seems a lot happier this year than they were last year. Even though I think Penix isn't a horrible pick.
That division is not very good. They could very easily take over that division pretty quickly.
Depends on what strides Carolina makes, because they looked a lot better at the end of last year.
That's the team I think everybody will watch out for, especially in that division.
I mean, I still think it's Tampa Bay is the best team, but
that gap's small. It's very small.
Yeah, but I've seen this kid play a dozen times over the last couple of years, and in person, and his ability to win with speed and then also win with power on a smaller frame, you just don't see it a lot. This kid's got superstar potential on the edge.
But Cam, the character issues.
How do you think dropping in the draft so far is going to affect his character issues?
It's going to piss him off, and he's going to be a madman. That's what's going to happen.
What, Matt?
I like Atlanta. I like what
Something
Atlanta's
the
done
other
so
day
far.
that
They're
confused
probably
me,
my
like,
biggest draft winners.
Yeah, Atlanta had to get up. If they wanted Pierce, they had to go up and get it because with Baltimore, Detroit, the next two, he wasn't getting past 28.
No. Will Johnson maybe to Baltimore? They're pretty sound.
All right, Chris, what is the best case scenario for the Lions at 28?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go a little bit off the board and go Luther Burden and make a dangerous offense even more potent. Because Tim Patrick is getting older and got a little bit hurt last year. They're going to have to replace him at some point.
And J-Mo
Burden's a
appears
true
to
ace.
be J-Mo appears to be on the trade block.
No, he was at OTAs yesterday. I don't think he's getting traded.
Yeah, you don't know anything, Cam.
If he's not at OTAs, then yeah, I'm 100% on him getting traded. But I think they do pick up his 5th-year option and maybe move him next year. But I think they'll hold on to him for now. Wide receiver depth, they need depth at a lot of places because of all the injuries last year. That's the number one need. It's not a positional need per se.
I would have thought that they would have
depth.
tried to get a guard, but all the
they could. I mean, well, yeah, that's more I think a day 2 pick because honestly, if they got a guy that can slide into maybe a right guard spot or a backup guard this year and move to the left guard next year, sure. But I would say
there's still some really good edges available, though, too.
There are. I still think that's probably the move. But if they were to grab Luther Burden, I wouldn't be upset at all.
I think they do it so they can spell Hutchinson a little bit.
Well, they've got to have depth because they had no sack production. Aiden Hutchinson had 7.5 sacks in 5 games and led the team.
Right.
Which one would you prefer, Chris?
There you go.
Yeah, I'll get to that question in a minute.
Donovan and Zook, however you say it.
I think that's probably where I would go.
Zabuke?
Yeah. I think that's probably where I would go. As far as Hendon Hooker's concerned, keep him as a backup. I mean, he's got time to learn a little bit. There will be a natural transition. There will be a point where Jared Goff's contract becomes probably too much. And that may be Hooker's chance to start. They've got to have a back. I mean,
talent level, hell yeah.
If Jared Goff goes down today, Hendon Hooker, I'm okay with him at quarterback there. And I couldn't say that last year. So I love the fact that they were willing to develop him and actually take time with him instead of rushing him out there. And obviously, they picked Hooker not knowing Jared Goff was going to go Jared Goff on everybody. But you need a second quarterback in the NFL. If you don't have one, you're toast.
Jared Goff will come back down to earth eventually anyway. So
I think I could see the Washington game was an anomaly, but I do see a situation where he maybe regresses a little bit. But with that running game, I'm not concerned.
my de facto AFC team has not made their pick yet, or they did. Their pick's in.
The picks in is not nobody's.
I'm kind of along the same lines as KJ. Like I grew up kind of a 49ers fan, but like I also rooted for players more than anything.
Ravens are taking Malachi Starks.
Yes. Oh my God. Kyle Hamilton and oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That's a good way to shore up the back end to defend against Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kidding. Good Lord. I love it. Good job, Baltimore. They just have the best colors in the NFL, don't they?
Chargers, I think.
I would argue. I would be a little biased in arguing.
Hawaiian
Can I,
blue.
can I make a statement?
and
Because I heard
silver.
somebody else make this statement the other day. The Chargers,
Yeah.
them going with their powder blues,
Mhm.
it doesn't make them as special as they used to be. Like when the LT Chargers rolled out their powder blues, that felt a lot more special. 'Cause they
Well,
didn't
I mean,
do
also
everything.
too. Well, it used to be their old colors too. I mean, in the '60s
I
and
know.
'70s. So
I don't know. Everything Chargers to me just doesn't hit like it did when they were in San Diego.
that's very true. Yeah, I will agree with that.
LA does
But
not.
nothing does.
Here's one for you, Joe.
What?
The University of Tennessee becomes the first school to have a first-round pick in the NBA, NFL, MLB, and WNBA in the same year.
Cool.
Notre Dame did do that.
No,
Oh, here we go.
We suck at basketball right now. Of course we didn't do that.
Oh,
When's the last time? No, never mind. Your baseball team did win a national title.
Yeah.
When's your last? God, Malachi. I love Malachi Starks.
Hey, put
Chris.
Lauren's comment up there. Throw Lauren's comment up there.
nope, I'm wrong. Sorry. Here we go.
Well, until Jerry Jones kicks the bucket, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, the bad part-
GM with owner.
The bad part is his son is too involved, and he's just going to take over.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that, but
Kentucky does. Kentucky has that crit or Cam.
Yes, Kentucky has that.
That's Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton manning that. Oh my God. He's pissed that he lasted as long as he did.
Is it just me, or does the end of this draft feel stronger than the middle of it?
I think tomorrow night is better.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't get how that works.
Yeah, I thought picks like 11 through 20 were kind of weak.
That's
Well,
the kind of thing. I mean, when there's a drop off there after the top 10.
You start drafting guards and tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then we let Malachi Starks drop all the way to the end of the first round.
But, I mean, as Philadelphia has shown everybody, I mean, if you don't build from the inside out, your team can implode.
I'd be surprised if the Eagles don't go wide receiver.
Is Philly the overwhelming favorite to repeat this year? Or do we think somebody else takes the crown from them?
At some
I wouldn't
point,
say
some point-
overwhelming favorite, but favorite, yes.
At some point, surely the Bills are going to get over the hump and at least make it.
I think
Well,
the
that's
Ravens-
what Jim
Ravens
Kelly
are
thought,
right there,
too.
They might
Yeah,
make it. They're not going to do anything when they get there.
It's just somebody has to knock the Chiefs off. I mean, they're just
Why is the Boys R Us giraffe in their draft room?
I don't know.
Pick is in for the Lions. That didn't take long.
Thank God.
No, I'll say this about Brad Holmes. When he gets his guy, he ain't waiting.
And that means Luther Burden goes to Washington.
So you guys definitely aren't going 15-2 this year, right, Chris?
No. I think 12-5 for the first place schedule is really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, the main thing is, I think the NFC as a whole will slide back a win or two.
Yeah.
Where your number one seed may win 13 games and that's it.
Hey, I'm
Because it's pretty even across the board.
I'd be okay if it takes us a couple years to build around Cam. Especially if we got a number one pick in 2 years from now. That'd be great.
Take him
Say
this
that.
year when the next year's quarterback class is better?
I just want.
Because then the year after that, you could take Jeremiah Smith.
Huh? Your argument's bad. Take a quarterback next year, give him Jeremiah Smith the next year.
There you go,
You're
Chris.
gonna have a top
You need to
five.
do that with your mustache.
Ooh.
I somewhat agree with you, Joe. I just want a functioning team by the time the new stadium opens.
You're not going to.
Who is it?
I know. I'm very aware, Joe.
It's not confirmed yet, so I'm not going to say it. But
The last thing I want is for the Titans to have a dysfunctional, awful team, and when they have their primetime stadium opening game, we play the Chiefs or the Steelers or somebody, and the entire stadium is filled with opposing teams' fans. Like, I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Have they announced PSLs for those yet?
Hell,
I don't know. I'm not going to buy one if they do. Like, I mentioned to my dad that there's so many cranes at that construction site. I think they should take all the cranes away and then have to build it by hand. And they get one crane for every win that they get this season.
y'all talking about the new stadium? I just couldn't help but to laugh. We were going to a doctor's appointment last week, and we drive by the stadium, and Michaela says, "Is that the parking garage for the new stadium?" I said, "No, that's the new stadium."
Stadium.
I like this pick for the Lions.
What is this pick for the Lions?
Tyleik Williams.
Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle. Another place where they needed depth.
He's freaking massive.
Yep.
Oh my god.
With us not having a third rounder, I highly doubt that they're going to trade up here.
Shadur tweeted, "I'm built for whatever today may bring." And then Justin Hopkins, not our like the ends were Justin Hopkins, but like the Oregon on three guy, quote tweeted and said, "What about tomorrow?"
Yeah, no, he's not. No one's coming up for him in the first round.
No,
Go away.
I mean the second round is the next team that needs a quarterback. Cleveland's got the first pick.
Cleveland could be a Shadur spot.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Of course it would be.
Because they've got also the 36th pick or the fourth pick of the second round. And then New Orleans has, if they take him, it'll be the 40th pick. Other than that,
speaking of NFL teams, a friend of mine is trying out for the Titans cheer squad, and he's a
I saw
finalist.
that. I saw that on your story earlier.
Congratulations, Danny. I hope you get there.
yeah.
Somebody, Dustin Dopriak, some of my connections back in Indy. He's the Pacers beat writer for the Star. He said Jackson Dart comparing Lane Kiffin to Yoda. ... Yeah, not sure about that one. And Nat Newell, who's like the editor-in-chief or the sports director for the Indy Star, said, "Yep, Yoda was basically a failure as a leader." So.
Yeah. I like adding Tyleik Williams alongside Liam McNeil. Good luck running inside.
I think George Kittle stays with the Niners.
Do you want him to stay with the Niners?
I don't know. I mean, he's getting old anyway, so
Perfect time for him to come to the Titans.
But shout out George Kittle. Shout out George Kittle. Real wants to know why.
George Kittle. Chris is the biggest George Kittle fan.
George Kittle makes people money.
Yoda was the whole reason that Vader and the reason that Palpatine was able to take over. Palpatine was sitting right there, and then Yoda wouldn't listen to Anakin when Anakin's like, "Hey, my mom's dying. Hey."
Yeah, he was too closed off from the things that are important. He was too back in his ways.
The Jedi were dumb.
The Jedi are the Clemson football of warriors.
My God, that's such a good comparison.
Yeah.
There it is.
We take no transfers.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I will not stand for the Anakin slander. I'm a big Star Wars fan. It's the one series I can't get Jess to watch. She refuses.
Are you a whole Star Wars series fan, or are you a certain part of the series Star Wars fan?
1 through 6.
1 through 6.
7 through 9 don't exist.
Okay.
Just like the fourth Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the Clone Wars series is peak. Like the last season of Clone Wars is peak.
Elite.
Oh, it's so good. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Maul is my favorite Star Wars character. Has been, always will be. I remember being 5 years old, going into the movie theater, not having seen any trailers, and then he pulls up at the end, the double. Lost my mind. Had somebody
What did
yell.
you think of him at the end of Solo?
I thought it was forced, but I wasn't upset about it. But then when he came back in Clone Wars, I was like, yes. It makes no sense, but yes.
I wish they would have kept Savage Opress around.
Yeah, I get why they killed him, though.
He was cool. I liked him better than Maul.
Yeah, and they added Debo Samuel, so maybe they don't take Burden here.
Yeah, but Debo's bound to get hurt.
Yeah, but they got Scary Terry and they got the other guy.
Cam is really stressing here.
My guy, Scary Terry. Maybe Buffalo takes Luther.
I had him in a mock that I did, but wide receiver is surprisingly not listed as a need for
Johnson
Buffalo.
may go here. Will Johnson or Harrison out of Kentucky.
I could see Harrison.
Watch Philadelphia take Luther Burton, and they'll have AJ Brown and Luther Burton
Devontae Smith.
Just to rub it in the Titans' faces. Josh Connerly.
Not a first-round talent.
I think I had them going in the first round. Cam?
You did, but not to him. Not to them.
Who did I have them go to?
Actually, you did not.
I didn't.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, I was the only one that had him in the first round. I had him at 31 to the Chiefs.
I don't want to look at that sheet.
Do what?
I don't want to look at that sheet.
Yeah, the sheet will just prove that we just need to stick to high school football.
Well, not our fault that Jacksonville. I couldn't figure out a way to do my own trades in there.
Or
If I had, I never would have said Jacksonville.
Or maybe we know more than these GMs.
Yeah, let's check back in 5 years.
So does Cam Ward? Do they retire? What's his fate? Warren Sapp's or unretire?
Oh my gosh! If you don't know their names, don't.
Did you say Warren Sapp?
Yeah,
He said Warren Sapp.
Okay, it's been 3.5 hours. We haven't taken a break, and now we've been talking about Star Wars for the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm gonna give that one a pass. Let me do something real quick.
Warren Sapp.
I've been up since 6 o'clock, and I worked outside all day. I don't want to hear shizer from you guys.
Okay, it's probably a good time for those who have come on a little bit late to talk about some of the announcements that we made earlier tonight.
Yes.
First off, we're going to go with our season-long project, Into the Hive, a season with the Springfield Yellow Jackets. We had head coach Dustin Wilson on a little earlier this evening, and excited about that particular project because a year following what should be a really good Springfield team, it's going to be fun with that community and that program.
Yeah,
Really
that community,
excited.
that's going to be really cool. I'm real excited for you guys.
I like the history that it has. That's why I'm really excited.
I'll have a lot of fun at the Tennessee State Archives looking through old newspapers. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing 2 Love to Hate specials as well. The first of those will be between Gordonsville and Smith County. Well, actually, technically the second one because they play in week 11 this year. But it's the one we're going to mention first because of that small town feel that we love so much around here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Small town feel, and I can't lie. I'm a small school guy, so I'm partial to anything. And I played against these schools. I know about my high school strength coach went to Smith County. I got a bunch of connections there. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and man, what two of the best coaches in Middle Tennessee right there, and Coach Jackson, longtime assistant at Oakland, now doing his own thing as the head man at Gordonsville. Coach Dyer on some really good staffs in his time, both at Macon County, at Trousdale County, and then back at where he played high school ball there at Carthage. This is going to be a fun little show to put together. Isaac, you're going to have a blast.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not going to be a soul in Carthage.
Or South Carthage.
Or South Carthage.
Yeah.
You got to be fair. If you're going to call it Carthage, you got to call it Gordonsville South Carthage.
Well,
yeah.
Also,
if I were to say Smith County,
Smith County. I don't know who does your branding or whatever, but whoever does it, you need to bring back the owl that Coach Dyer right there is wearing. You need to use that more often.
You know what? I agree with that. That's a pretty neat little logo right there.
Yeah.
The other half of the Love to Hate duo, the one that's actually going to play first, is Gallatin and Hendersonville. They square off week 1 right off rip, and a long-standing Sumner County rivalry gets under the spotlight this year. Looking forward to seeing what we can turn out for that one because there's a lot of history between these two teams.
A big one.
Beach hate watch.
Yep.
Yes.
I always love whenever you have a rivalry like this. It was the same way with Smith County and Gordonsville when it was a non-region game, but with these guys too. Whenever you're playing a big rivalry game, I think it should always be if not the first, one of the first games you play. I think that you should have your rivalry game first game of the year so you can work all off season, just have that goal set in mind, getting ready for it. And plus it's warm weather out, so it's going to be great gates for both sides.
And for the most part, I would agree with that, man. I mean, if you're the same region, though, obviously you can't do that. And it needs to be the first game or the last game.
Yeah.
No, nothing in between. That's one thing I think that the TSSAA has done well in recent years is getting some of these big rivalry games toward the very back of the schedule when the stakes are the highest. And it does create a pretty neat little dynamic in the final 2 weeks of the season.
Can confirm most rivalry games are in fact week 11.
Yeah. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, even though we haven't talked about it tonight, about the news about the Tennessee State Legislature potentially looking into dissolving the TSSAA.
Stupid.
Yep.
Dumb.
Well,
stay out of just.
If you can't even, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
You can't even run your own damn state right. Stay out of high school sports because you're not going to be able to run it.
We got a lot of things to say, but we can't say anything about it.
I will.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm not looking forward to government football.
Yeah.
No, it's about to happen. It's about to happen in North Carolina. It's going to be an absolute disaster over there.
I've yet to see the government step into something like this and actually have a positive impact. If Tennessee can do it, they'll be the first.
Yeah, but I'd set the odds to that at probably 97 billion to 1.
There you go, Matt and Scott. There's your Kentucky guy going to the Bills at Maxwell Harrison.
Congratulations, Buffalo. You made a good pick.
Oh, we have a trade, and the Eagles are on the clock at 31.
Why?
Here comes Luther Burden.
Because they didn't want Luther Burden to go to the Chiefs.
Were the Chiefs really going to get Luther Burden?
Why not?
Or are they moving up for an edge? Mike Green?
It's possible, too, but...
They don't need another wide receiver.
Well,
They need another. Yeah, they need
Yeah.
another wide receiver, but
Neither one of these teams needs
this
another
is
wide
gonna be a-
receiver.
this is
Neither
going to be
one
a
of these
corner.
teams needs anything.
This is going to be Will Johnson out of Michigan, I think.
I'm surprised he hasn't been drafted
They
yet.
don't need another
They're
corner.
moving on, I think, from one of their starting corners.
Darius Slay.
Oh, Darius Slay did
Yeah.
leave, didn't he? So yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
yeah.
I sometimes forget Darius Slay exists. So
Yeah.
he's been around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean if we avoid Mike Green and looked at Burden, we only have to make it what?
So it wasn't a straight up trade. So the Eagles get the last 2 picks. Or did the Chiefs trade back to the second? Or
The
the
Chiefs
32nd?
traded back. I'm just trying to see what the return is on that right now.
Okay, yeah, no. The Chiefs went to the 32nd.
Chiefs get 32, or Eagles. Yeah, the Chiefs get 32 and 164. Eagles get 31.
Us not having a third this year really, I think, is causing us to pull the reins back on a potential trade up. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that everybody would want that.
no, not from moving 35 to 31. No, you're not getting a third for that.
No.
I think Hairston's raw, but like the talent is there. He's long.
When's the last time you saw the 2 Super Bowl participants make a draft day trade
That's
with each other?
that's odd.
Has it ever happened?
I don't know that it has.
Why? Well, the thing is that they traded with Kansas City. So they are definitely trying to prevent Kansas City from taking somebody here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means
Yeah.
that they may think Kansas City's got somebody circled and they want them.
Right. Which means
Which
they're
means
trying
it
to
would
prevent
fit. Which means it would
Kansas City from
probably.
taking here.
Which means it would probably be a fit for Kansas City's needs, which one of those needs is edge. So, could be, Mike Green, Donovan, however you say it. Scott, you want to try that?
Donovan, I don't know.
I don't know anything about Mike Green.
He is a blazer off the edge.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
6'3", 250.
He really, really jumped up everybody's boards at Senior Day, or the Senior Bowl.
Somebody's going to get a steal if Jahad Campbell falls to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to get a steal right now if they get him.
We don't need that on either one of these next 2 teams.
Don't
No,
put that evil on
definitely
me,
not.
Sonny.
I think the Chiefs take a step back this year.
What, they take a step back?
You think the NFL is going to allow that?
They take a step back and
You
lose
think
in the
Taylor
AFC
Swift's going to
Championship?
allow that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think Taylor's going to allow that?
My hot take is they don't make it to the AFC Championship game.
So,
Listen, it was supposed to happen last year, and Philadelphia had different plans. The Chiefs are going to win it all, and he's going to propose to Taylor, and it's going to be cinema TV for the
I think
NFL.
the Chiefs lose in the divisional round.
to who?
What makes you think that Taylor Swift will settle down with anybody?
To who?
Yeah.
This time next year, there'll probably be a song about Travis.
Baltimore.
There's already
Baltimore.
songs about Travis.
I think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC overall. Yeah, she's already got like a whole album
man.
Chris, what are you smirking about?
Trust me, I've
I'm
already.
just kind of at the
That was
point where we
two. That was
the
two.
800 people the 800 people that are watching us and now hearing us talk about Taylor Swift at the end of the draft. So it's just kind of like
That was two very different conversations going on at the same exact time.
Mhm.
That is the dichotomy. You don't get this anywhere else, folks. This is the dichotomy.
no. I mean, it's the kind of parallels that you have here. I mean, you get all sorts of stuff
Well,
with this.
now Isaac, that if you can get her on Love to Hate for the Gallatin Hendersonville,
She
do
is
go to Hendersonville.
yeah.
Hendersonville has their auditorium named after her.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
The only reason I know about Hendersonville or her going to Hendersonville is because I covered Hendersonville for like a game and found out about that.
Didn't she go
So-
there for like 1 year?
She went there. She
Something
went
like
to.
that, yeah.
I don't like that I know this stuff, but this is what dating girls does to you. She went to high school in Pennsylvania, and her parents moved her to Nashville for her singing career, and she went to Hendersonville because her dad was very rich and had a very nice house in Hendersonville. And she went to Hendersonville for 1 year and then graduated. So
What years? Where did Newgarden and Josh Bell go? They went to JP2, right?
No, Newgarden went to JP2. Josh Berry went to Hendersonville.
Yeah.
Very.
But I think they were in middle school. Newgarden may have been in Hendersonville. I have to remember. But I know he was at JP2 before he went over to Europe to start his racing career.
Ooh, something else we can tease, not high school related. Chris and I are going to vlog Chris's first ever Indy 500 experience.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and Joe's gonna do a little video put together to show me and Isaac that wherever he went to school.
I'll take you around my former college, aka high school. That's 7 Trousdale counties.
Yep. Probably fit the whole county inside
Probably
the
good.
stadium, probably, right?
Louis, go lay down. I got a Yorkie at the gate growling at my cats.
Oh,
baby, we gonna go.
Karaoke time.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Everybody-
we reached the karaoke time of
Everybody
portion
start
of the,
commenting
Song
songs.
requests.
Yeah, comment song
Yeah.
requests and
Please, God, no, they
what
can't.
is on your
harmonize.
playlist.
Hot take. I like.
There you go, Chris.
Mm.
You called it.
John Campbell. Yeah, it was just a matter of time.
I hate the world we live in.
And believe it or not, that defense that ate
They
Kansas
need-
City's
you know.
lunch in the Super Bowl and kept Patrick Mahomes on his back just got better.
Yep.
They obviously did not think he was going to be there. And
I hate living in a world where Philadelphia is allowed to have the best team in the NFL for a long time.
Blame the Giants.
I do.
but I will have to say, being up here for the 7 months I've been up here, that this is a sports town.
6'2" and 7.
They absolutely love their teams here.
And I
And they
absolutely
support 'em.
hate them.
Yeah, I hate their fans.
I hate their fans so much.
And they love that you hate them.
They chuck
Yeah.
batteries
Yes.
at Santa Claus.
They feed off that. I mean, yeah, the hate just fuels their rage.
I went to the Predators Flyers game the other night at the Wells Fargo Center. And even though both teams are not very good,
That was a
There
whole
was
load of
still-
suck.
huh?
That was a whole load of suck
Yeah.
between those two teams.
See, it's not so much that it's mainly that I just hate the Eagles fans. I don't really care about. I'm not old enough to know about the Broadway bullies, so I don't really care. I don't know how bad Phillies fans are.
I did not wear. I bought a Philly shirt off the street, so I didn't walk into Phillies game.
Chiefs already got their pick in.
Yeah. The Eagles are kind of mad to me, but Phillies, yeah, they can move on down the line.
We're in a division with them.
That's because you're a Braves fan.
Fair enough. That means I'm supposed to dislike them, correct, Scott? Just like if you're a Cowboys fan, you hate the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not dissing you for it. I'm saying that goes along with it, right?
Yeah.
Am I alone here in saying that I like that color green over the Kelly green?
Yes.
That color green is pretty nice.
That. I like that.
It's not. I don't hate it, but I mean, the Kelly green is just pops.
That color green with the black,
black
looks
outline,
really good.
The black outline, especially in the sunlight, is.
I'm sorry, the Jets have never looked good.
Every time I go into our GM's office, I have to see all this Eagles gear, and it is by far the best look. Either the black jersey or the dark green with the black trim.
We talk about these uniforms, and it just goes to show how good the '90s really were. When you have all these uniforms like the Oilers Bloody Blues, the Bucks creamsicles, the Kelly green for the Eagles. I mean,
Seahawks,
Lions went back to the Honolulu blue. I mean, for a reason that was just the best looking.
The
Seahawks silver.
The '90s dominated uniforms all over, like the
They
NBA
did.
90s.
The NBA, yeah.
Go around. Your favorite NFL uniform of all time.
Oh,
Joe, go first.
The Oilers.
The Oilers?
Yeah, probably the Oilers.
All right, Chris?
The Bucks creamsicles.
It is a beautiful jersey. I will go with the Oilers.
Yeah. Isaac?
This is impossible. If I have to pick one, it's got to be the Oilers. If I have to pick one.
As much as I hate it, as much as I hate to, I was kind of torn, but I go back. I take it back. The original Seahawks jersey.
Those are very nice.
Yes, they are.
Original Seahawks uniforms. I love those.
And here's the thing, like the way the equipment is designed now makes them look so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because let's face it, in the '90s they looked kind of, amateurish, kind of high schoolish, really. But now with the templates that Nike's using and the numbers being tighter, it just looks it's.
And the fact that the Titans are switching to their light blue as their home uniform, that doesn't make me mad. I'm fine with it. But the fact that they're doing that and not wearing the Oilers throwbacks, that makes me mad.
Yeah.
I looked at an old picture yesterday of 1989 players, and those shoulder pads were so big. I mean,
they were
flipping huge, and it's no wonder quarterbacks weren't near as accurate as they are today. They didn't have the range of motion. Okay, the last pick of the first round.
Josh Simmons.
Is Cam going to be able to sleep tonight?
Yep, made it a night.
Yay! So that means that right now, Will Johnson's still on the board. Mike Green's still on the board.
Will Johnson surprised me. I thought Will Johnson was
hey, listen. It's a wrap. We're good. We're good. If you're the Titans, we're good. You have Luther Burden, Mike Green, and Donovan Ezanako.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you say it. One of the three is going to be there at 35. Hey, we're good.
Whichever one of the three that the Titans pick will not pan out, because that's how it usually goes.
No, they'll probably end up taking Caleb Johnson, running back from Iowa.
Not with Trayvon Henderson still on the board.
They'll take
or Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver from Iowa State.
They'll take a player with a lot of upside potential, but either has awful off-the-field issues or injury history. That's what they'll do.
That or, he'll wind up having an injury like the dude off of Field of Dreams or whatever it's called. ACL tear. Y'all ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
If Mike Green is still there for them, I'd almost bet that's where they go. because they lost
Lost Harold Landry.
Harold Landry, so they're going to need an edge.
I still trade down is not out off the table for sure either, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to be able to get a 3rd-round pick, but what do you trade for it?
What do you mean? What do you trade for it? You drop back to in the mid 40s and you pick up a 3rd rounder.
I'm not. I don't hate it.
You
A
want Luther
team to
Burton
watch
back, though?
here. A team to watch here is going to be the Saints. The Saints at 40, moving up to 35 to get Shadur if the Browns do not take Shadur to start the 2nd round. By the way, Chris, that chart's done. Results are in.
Well, let's have them.
So all of us picked 1 through 32. I had 9 correct picks. Joe, Scott, and Isaac both had 5. All 3 had 5. And to let you know how the draft went itself, most of our picks were correct. I had the first 8, so I had the first 8, and then I had 1 out of the last 24.
Which
And
means
then-
you still have a better batting average than Jock Peterson.
Correct. We all got the top 3, and then it went haywire after that.
Thank you, Jaguars.
Yep.
Leave it to Jacksonville to mess everything up. That's a fun show, guys. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We're approaching 4 hours. Probably will cut a little bit short before then. But yeah, I mean, more than 800 live viewers right now. Thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a fun one. We'll do this again next year on draft night and go get some sleep because
we'd be remiss not to mention that we are looking for sponsors, not only for some of these shows. Like we definitely could use a sponsor for any of our Love to Hate series, our Inside Team series, Into the Hive. Sponsors also pay for our awards. We've had some really good sponsors in the past, and Chris, we've really experienced a lot of growth. Do you have those numbers?
I have pulled them recently. I'll pull those up here just a moment.
While he's pulling those up, I just want to add, if you're a very small business, don't be scared away and think that we are looking for just big sponsors. Yep. We can sponsor as little as one game of the week, and we'll work with anybody on negotiating and we can guarantee that your money's going to go back into the product because none of us are making anything, I promise.
And Cam will actually come out to your children's birthday parties.
He'll come out to your children's He'll come out to the parties and talk about the fake town that is Hartsville.
And for enough money, we might get him to just show up in maybe one of Isaac's Vanderbilt shirts.
Ooh, that might be a hefty price.
I got a brand new Vandy Boys gold pinstripe jersey for you, Cam.
I'll pass.
Take one for the team, Cam.
Here's what's weird, okay? And I can speak for, I think, a certain number of Tennessee fans. When Vanderbilt ain't playing us, go ahead and win, Vanderbilt. I'm happy for you. I really am.
I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear the pity.
I really am.
I don't need to hear it.
I really am.
A pity cheer.
Don't give me your pity.
But literally, you guys hate us. Like, is it just because we're better? Like, yeah. I don't understand the hate between Vanderbilt and Tennessee because.
Or is it just because it's private?
How did we get to this?
I think it's at some point though, Tennessee. You got to understand, little brother grows up.
It's not that we it's just that every
Have you
time.
talked to Louisville lately?
No,
Dang.
but I love Louisville. I
It's
love
this-
Louisville, Lauren. I was
it's-
born there.
It's the subtle disrespect of low expectations. It's every time. Oh yeah, Vanderbilt, good job, little guys, you did great. Now run along. That's what we hate.
Tennessee don't do that. Tennessee's not the only
You
one
wanna
that does
bet?
that to you.
You want to
Tennessee's
bet?
not the only one that does that to you.
You're not the only ones that we hate.
That's fair.
Kentucky doesn't do that. We've lost.
Vanderbilt hates a lot of people, and I get it. I mean, it's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, Matt, I
So
wouldn't
yeah,
expect it, but I was born there.
Scott, you asked about some numbers. Well, here's some numbers
Yeah,
for you. I'm
give
going
us
to
some
start with the big one. 11 million views in the last year on Instagram. 11 million with an M.
What business out there could turn away 11 million?
And I'm gonna point to the guy who's been in charge of that for the last bit. That's Joe Spears.
And guys, it's real simple. It's one small. If you think about this logically from a business standpoint, if you're a real estate company and you want to sponsor us, you get your logo on photos that we post on Instagram. That's 11 million people seeing that throughout the year. One deal that comes from that, from a realtor standpoint, pays and then some on your sponsorship price.
Yep.
I mean, all it takes is, we're not like some of these other ones. We're not charging an arm and a leg. We're just trying to better our product. We're not trying to get rich.
Yep. We all have day jobs and we keep them. Now, this isn't a money-making business for us, and probably won't be for a while. It's not why we do it. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, over 11,200 followers. It's like up 2,100 in the last year. I mean, it's growing. Instagram, our follower numbers, like, we're approaching 19,000 very soon, and probably 20,000 by the time football season starts. I'd say, Joe, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah, and I'll answer another question that I was asked the other day on the radio talking to our good friend Jerry Richmond. But, spring sports, we've been asked a bunch of times, when are we going to start covering baseball and softball and all this stuff? Guys, we're not going to cover something until we can do it the way it should be done.
Yeah.
We don't want to disrespect the athletes. We don't want to disrespect the kids. Spring fling is a different animal.
Yes.
We can put together a team of 4 or 5 guys and go cover 9 state championship football games. We can put together a team of 4 or 5 guys and go cover 2 weeks of state tournament basketball. 4 or 5 guys is not going to cover spring fling. It's just not going to happen. And we're not going to try to tackle that until we can do it and do it the right way.
And 2 of us have covered spring fling, various sports at that level. It's not a fun week. It's not a fun week to try to work it.
I'll say covering spring fling again. Nope.
But yeah, like Facebook, a lot of growth there, like over 5,000 followers, a yearly page reach of 1.3 million. I mean, say what you want to about it, but that's still a pretty sizable number. Over 1.2 million impressions of YouTube in the last year. I mean, the numbers are growing, and we're proud of it, and we want to continue to grow. So it's a lot of it's up to you to help that.
And 3 of you here may hate the University of Tennessee, but it's a game maximum. Put on more steam, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, and the point I want to get across, the reason I asked for numbers is that we launch through multiple streams. So if we don't hit somebody in one area, one social media site, we'll hit them in another. So we're not tying you into just one thing here, one thing there. What we put out, you'll see Joe putting out Instagram, Chris putting out stuff on YouTube. We're all the time. All of us are contributing on X and on Facebook, and we'd love to get your logo out there and help you build your business. We want to be good corporate partners, and so that being said, I just want to make sure we got the numbers out there so you guys would understand, exactly what you would be getting if you were to team with us. We have followers in other states. We have followers in other countries. So, and no, I'm not just counting me in Philadelphia. But yeah, you guys are, we enjoy doing what we do. We enjoy watching the kids, watching them grow, watching some move to the next level, watching the other ones turn into great corporate and great citizens, great students, great coaches, great leaders, and it's all about the kids.
Yeah, and as we get ready to close the show, you just mentioned it. It's all about the kids. I want to give out a huge shout out to Jake Brennan-Stoll and Jordan James, two guys that will hear their name called over this weekend. Super proud of you guys, and it was a pleasure watching you guys in high school. And best of luck in the NFL, guys.
Yeah, and also a shout out to the guys who joined us tonight. Justin Hopkins, Keith Johnson, Carson Sneed, Knight Wilson, and then also to Springfield head coach Dustin Wilson for hopping on with us and helping us launch into the Hive series, which is going to be a lot of fun to do this year.
Yep.
Everything okay over there, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe's tired.
Joe's
There's a
tired.
lot of racket. So probably a good time to wrap it up and let everybody get to bed because it's been a long day and a long night, but a fun one. More than 800 followers right now live with us. Thank you all for hanging out with us this evening. We'll be back very late July, early August with our preview series on the high school football here in the Middle Tennessee area. It's going to have a little bit of a different look. What you see, it's blurry behind me. It's not going to be there anymore. I'm moving next week, so have a whole new studio to work out of. Looking forward to that.
And you've already started seeing some of his work. I'm sure he'll join us on a show or two. Welcoming new member Connor Cornett.
Yep. Yeah, make sure to check out his work on our website, 615preps.com. Also, too, when we come back, Scott's going to be back in the fold in Tennessee.
No.
You can see he's very excited about that. Isaac, whatever happened to CPA Man? Just while we're here,
He's hibernating.
okay.
He's working on his gym bod for the next next appearance.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he might have been a camp counselor at a summer camp or something. I mean, just right.
What?
No.
Crystal Lake?
He's on a long and arduous journey of self-improvement is what he's on.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, we'll have a little bit of fun with that this fall too. So something to look forward to. All right. That's it. We're out of here. For the rest of the crew, it's not here with us. For Joe, Cam, Isaac, Scott, I'm Chris. Thanks for hanging out with us on draft nights. We will see you all very, very soon. Enjoy the summer. Take care of yourselves. And let's have some fun with the season. Won't be long now. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
Cam, don't do that.
Take care.